Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Pattison Ave Phanatics show. I am your host, Tom Kelly. With me, as always, the crew who is very fired up today. James Scorza.
What's up? Happy Saturday.
Joseph Francis Marks.
Oh, I'm ready. Let's get going.
I know you are. Damon Salim.
Good morning. Good morning.
Dave Yarnell.
How's everybody doing?
Frank Finnegan.
Countdown to Harden Day.
You know it. We're getting there. We're getting there. I missed last week. You boys had a great show last week. It was awesome. Before we get into, we're going Sixers hot and heavy today, folks. You know that's coming. Before we get into the Philly sports scene at hand, let's get into some of the fine sponsors of the program. Dolan's Bar, Mexican Mondays, $2 tacos, $4 margaritas, and $4 Mexican beers, 4 p.m. until midnight over there at 24 East Sellers Ave in Ridley Park from 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. You head on over to Dolan's. Tell them the boys over at EOP sent you. They'll take care of you. The Scotland golf trip from my guys over at phillysportstrips.com. British Open at St. Andrews, July 13th through the 19th, 2022. Head on over to phillysportstrips.com and check out not only that, but some of the other fine trips that they have coming up, like the 2022 spring training, hopefully, March 14th through 19th, game tickets, transportation, hotel parties, and so much more. The ultimate LA basketball trip, hotel flight, pregame party, tickets to the game, March 23rd through the 27th, 2022. Trip to Nashville, March 26th through the 29th to watch the Flyers, I guess. Do what they do. Just go to enjoy the trip to Nashville. Never been
Go
there.
to some honky tonks.
I would love to head down there. And the 2022 NFL Draft in Vegas, April 27th through the 30th. Round trip flights to Vegas, 3 nights of playing at Hollywood, all inclusive draft party, group tours of Allegiant Stadium? Allegiant. There we go. Sorry, I was butchering
The Big
that.
Roomba.
The Big Roomba. And a new sponsor for the program here, SMT Renovations. Sean Tolomeo, owner and project manager. If you have a project in your house, you want to redo that bathroom, you want to redo that kitchen, and the thought of it just freaks you out, please, by all means, give my man Sean Tolomeo at SMT Renovations a call at 609-602-0560. I don't know why I hear myself in the background.
I don't either. I
don't know where that's coming from. Is that somebody's phone?
Yes.
Somebody's got their volume up on their phone.
Someone's sharing. So
someone's sharing. Of course, I understand. Our Edge of Philly lineup, Monday through Saturday, we got just about everything covered for you guys. Monday, obviously, the Broad Street Bullies talking Flyers as best they can this season. The Monday mailbag with Joey Sheeran on Tuesdays. Talking Philly sports with Matty B. Kyle Quinn will be his guest on that show. Wednesday, Philly Press Box Radio had D. Lynham on this week. Go back and listen to that. Joey and Al over at the EOP show. They're always bringing the laughs and the fire. And then Fridays, Matty B was on at 11 a.m. this Friday, but you can check that out. And obviously every Saturday morning at 9 a.m., it's Breakfast with the Boys. And for all you lacrosse heads out there, nobody in the business does it better than Lax Philly. Live shows coming soon, articles, videos, and much more. Head on over to the edgeofphilly.com.
Tough loss by the Wings the other day.
It was a tough loss by I did catch that. So just with that SMT Renovations, I started working with them a little less than a month ago.
They've done work in my house.
The knowledge that these guys, Sean, Todd, have, it's just incredible. They will have forgotten more than I'll probably ever learn. But I'm learning every day with them, and we're working together, and they're doing some great things. So if you got a remodeling project, you want an estimate, you have questions that how do I start this process? Please, you can reach out to me, and I'll put you in contact with Sean, or you can give Sean a call direct on the number that I just mentioned. But
actually, the Edge of Philly Sports Show actually had Freddie Burns on there.
Fred was on? I didn't get a chance to
catch
it.
I called in.
He called in. Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. Our guy, Freddie Burns.
Yes.
My man, thinking of you, Jim Chet Chesko.
Thanks, Chet.
Thanks, Chet.
Thanks,
Thank you, Chet.
Appreciate you, man.
Checks in
Great
the mail,
interview
Chet.
with D. Lynham.
Checks in the mail.
Yeah,
Chet.
it was a good
Chet.
interview.
Chet's in the mail.
The check is in the mail, Chet.
And I'll throw
Say that 5 times.
Yeah,
fast.
exactly.
There you go.
and I'll throw this out there because it was mentioned on EOP when before Fred came on and after. Check out EOP Cares Facebook page.
Yes.
The Freddie Burns event's going to be on there, and more
It's,
to kind
March
of
26th, I believe, Joey.
yeah,
Okay.
March 26th. I believe at the
To-
Lantern.
Red Lantern. Yes.
Red
Red
Lantern.
Lantern,
Yes.
yes.
2 to 6, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So check that out. There are other things of other charities and other things that we're doing on that. So check that out. Keep up with that. And yeah,
Awesome.
It was good to hear Freddie on Wednesday night.
it was.
Right.
It
I'm gonna
was,
have to go back
definitely.
and listen to
Yes.
that for sure because I've been, with the new gig and everything, I've been passing out a little early, so some of my late shows that I like to catch I miss. But let's get into some Sixers. Now that
Giddy up.
2-5 is gone, so I wasn't here last week. I didn't really get a chance to to talk to you guys about
Good stuff.
the trades and everything kind of going down. But now
I was
that
thinking about
2-5 is
gambling
gone,
off earlier too. That's awesome.
and 2-5's gone, Harden's here. What becomes this team's identity?
Championship.
Yeah, definitely.
It's time to put the gear in high gear and go for the chip, because that's what you did all this for.
Right.
That's what it all. You put. Look, Maury put all the chips in the center of the table, and I mean I'll kind of chime in with, because I told you it was going to be fire. I'm going to chime in with Dave. I understand you don't like the guy, the Harden.
Not a fan.
And I understand. I didn't like a lot of guys. One who's still in Philly, but hopefully will be gone soon. But understand
You're
something.
skating on thin ice.
Yeah, well, he's getting on no ice at this point.
We have a hockey team.
Is he skating
interested.
at all?
But
I'm sorry. Not gonna rail. We're not gonna rail today.
this guy,
No railing.
Harden, in my mind, and you can have as much criticism as you want for him, and that's your prerogative.
That's fine.
But if in my mind, if this guy wins us if this guy helps us, I'm not going to say if he wins us the championship. If he helps us win us the championship, I'm not going to go, oh, I'm a big James Harden fan.
No.
This is Embiid's team.
No,
Period. End of
and
sentence.
there's no doubt about that.
I agree.
Okay. So James is just along for the ride. He's the Robin. He is not the Batman or Superman or anything.
He said as much in his
Right.
Well, he was playing coach the other night, Joey. I'm not.
And listen,
Well, he should
if he
coach at times.
if he coaches up Maxey to give Maxey a quarter of the talent that Harden had at his prime, I will take it. I will take it.
Joe, you're just starting for a championship, aren't you?
We all are. Yeah.
We all are.
I know. I understand that. I get it.
That's what
I
we
get
went
it.
through
Listen.
4 years of desert for.
I mean,
Right.
I've
man.
already said this to Tom before.
the process.
Me and Tom,
Morning, Food.
me and Tom have our spot.
What's up, Fuge?
Broad and Chunk.
Fuji.
We will rope that
By the way,
sucker
Joey,
off
We'll do it again, Joey.
We will rope that
We will
sucker
rope it
off
off
again.
I
again.
like that Sixers hat, man.
That's a nice Sixers
That's
hat.
right. I
The
like
Eagles,
just
the
logo,
Eagles Super
isn't it?
Bowl parade, Joe. What time did we get out there? 5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock in the morning.
And we roped
Roped
off
it
an
off.
area right at Broad and Shunk.
Yep.
I like
We will
that.
rope it off
Rope
again.
it off again.
I like that.
We'll get our whole crew
Yeah.
down there. Yeah, we'll go live.
Yeah, I don't care.
We'll go live from that.
I'm
bad
looking forward to that.
That would
if
be a
that's
blast.
the case.
Yeah,
That would be an absolute
way
blast.
too much fun. And the nice part is you got a place to go take a leak right around the corner of Joey's
The
house.
best part about well, I was gonna say Philly alleys are the best sometimes, man. They're just
It's something about it, you know. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I was a mummer for a long time.
Depends on
We've been down that road before.
Depends on the alley.
depends on the alley because some people got them gated up now. But anyway,
Right.
Well,
that's
well,
another day.
you know, we were mummers, but I mean, you were mummers, but not that long ago, the South House and me and you.
Yeah, I know.
Things
was a-
happened afterwards.
That was a great live remote and a fun
after party.
adventure for Joseph and myself afterwards. Al checks in saying Maxey learning from Embiid and Harden is priceless. I
Yes.
totally agree.
I
And Maxey
can't help but
embraces
agree.
it. And Maxey
No,
embraces
Joey,
it.
it was
That's
it
the
was a
key.
good bounce back win.
Maxey-
It was a good bounce back win in Milwaukee the other night. I'll give you that.
Maxey even went to Harden.
After
and
getting
asked,
after getting butts kicked on Tuesday.
and they did it.
I'll get to the Boston.
And-
Ma-
and they
Maxey
did
even
it-
went to Harden and asked for can I learn from him?
Well-
Yeah.
And they did it without Harden.
Right.
So keep this in mind. They beat the champs without Harden. So
In-
whatever
in
brings
Milwaukee, by the way.
right.
Right.
So whatever happens next is just cake. It's just extra.
So Dave, what? Okay, so like can I say like I don't think it's that extreme. Like it's clear I'm not a Tom Brady fan, but he's a great football player. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Same.
So
He's the best.
if he wouldn't happen now, but like say 5 years ago, right? If Tom Brady would miraculously became an Eagle for whatever reason, let's just play along, right?
Cowboy, it would have to be for Dave.
Are we,
Oh, okay.
well,
So you're not
So
Brady.
we're- so
So,
we're playing-
it becomes
God
a
help
Cowboy.
us
Playing-
all.
So
playing
somehow,
silly season?
some way,
silly, okay, silly
so
season.
somehow, huh?
Silly season, but go ahead.
Yeah. So somehow you will find a way to embrace him.
Yeah.
So it's the
Kinda
same
would.
thing that Joey said. Like I was opposed to the Harden deal last year.
Right.
I mean, it's on record. I would call Cuz. I'm like, and Cuz he's like, no. I'm like, it was only because of the potential that I and many others thought that, Simmons was going to unleash.
I'll
right?
put it
And when he
even-
didn't do that, and I'm just real quick, when he didn't do that, it changed my whole perception.
I'll put even a more relevant possibility out there. Aaron Rodgers is a complete douchebag off the field.
Another
Complete
woman just
douchebag.
broke
We know.
up
That's
with him.
how you really feel.
Yeah, another woman just
he's-
broke up with
Yeah,
him.
don't hold back.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he's a complete douchebag off the field. But if he got signed to the Eagles tomorrow, and I don't care, like he could be a douchebag, and I don't have to respect him. But if he puts up the wins and does
Right.
the things between the lines,
He gets signed to the Eagles tomorrow. We might have to rope off Broad and Shunk tomorrow.
yeah,
that would be scary.
Yeah,
That would be scary.
But so I understand, where Damon's kind of coming from. Harden, you don't like him, but he's one of those guys, Dave, that look, I can't stand the guy, but I do respect what he can do on the floor. Is it one of those situations?
I guess so. I mean, he'll give you 23 and 10, but I just still feel, like I said, losing Curry, who just was a big loss for us.
There's no doubt in that.
Well,
I don't
I
think
agree
there's
with
an
that. But the other thing about it, too, is that if you're going to get a player that's going to help us win a championship, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
That's the thing I look at it is that if Harden is going to, like, he's like actually helping Maxey become a real good player in this league. And I saw that thing, I heard about it, telling him how he like what he needs to like fix in his game.
He did it in game.
Yeah, and he did in the
man.
game, and look what happened.
Yeah, he came off. Maxey came off the court after play where he refused. He didn't refuse. He just didn't take the advantage of attacking the rim.
Yeah.
and he came off the court, and Harden pulled him over, and he's telling him that he's showing him. The next time he was in the game, he did it and went up and got an easy two.
That's
Yeah.
when Harden
Attack the rim.
thanked
And-
Niang too, George
And he
Niang
said,
too.
thank you.
And you know
He was
why?
yelling.
Because,
I love that.
because somebody listened to him
I
Right.
love that.
and implemented it immediately.
He was
Agreed.
yelling at Niang from shoot the ball, shoot the
Better,
ball. He wants
you need to
Niang-
shoot 10 threes. is
well,
what he said.
the other thing was that
and he went 5 for 10.
I don't think the Sixers brass wanted him to go on a trip. He's like, no, I want to go on a road trip with my
Yeah.
teammates.
I need to.
And
I
was
need
like-
to get to know
He
these
did
guys.
say-
Yeah, and I need to see
He
right
did
to
say
know
he wanted
them.
to go.
Yeah, it's like, yo, so he's not a malcontent. He's like, I mean,
He was put in
likes
the
strip
wrong
bars, but whoop-de-doo.
situations.
Like, you know
He
what
was
I'm saying? Like-
that's what I said last week. He was put in the wrong situations, and then it's the perception isn't always the reality
You mean
in that.
You mean being with the teams he was with? He was put in the wrong situation.
Yeah,
Why?
well, because like I said last week, he was put in
Minnesota
when
was
he
fine.
was first in Houston. He was with a quality team. They went pretty deep. He was an MVP and all of that.
Yeah.
Then they changed coaches because they couldn't get over that hump.
Right.
And they changed coaches and they thought they were fixing it by bringing in D'Antoni. D'Antoni is like, I know how to rewrite the whole NBA. I'm just going to trade a big man, and we don't need to have a big man. We could just go real small all the time.
right.
Yeah, that didn't work. You blew it up in Phoenix. You blew it up in the Knicks. Now you blew it up in Houston. So he was like, you're a lunatic. I want out of here. So he originally, and he said this, he originally wanted to go to Philly. But because Morey had...
Do you believe those reports that
Yeah.
he said
Yeah.
that? You believe that?
Because this was-
not reports, but what he said.
Yeah, I do, because
He wants to be
I
back with Morey.
especially
agree,
believe
yeah.
that because Morey left the Rockets ownership because the Rockets were like, no, we're packing it in. We're going to do it what D'Antoni wants. And he's like, well, then why am I here?
Right.
So he's like, I'm going to leave. So Morey leaves, goes to an organization like Philadelphia that is hard up for a GM, and basically he's like, I'm going to bring a championship to this team. And that's bold word from any GM on the day one. And so he basically says, I'm going to bring a championship to this team. He's in contact with Harden, like, okay, let's make this deal. And then ownership for the Rockets like, oh, fuck that. We're not letting you go to Morey. That's not the way this goes. It's like a bad ex-girlfriend. It was a bad breakup.
Right.
So it's like, we're not going to let you go there. So they sent him to the Nets, and then Harding was like, okay, I don't really want to be here. It's not the right fit, and he's like, I got two guys that have already won championships. One doesn't want to play half the time, and one is
a total lunatic.
Right, and the other one is like spoiled because everyone wants to pump his ego.
Well, you heard the report.
We're automatically just forget about OKC altogether. Is that what you're saying?
Well,
Well,
OKC was a
OKC's
sixth man. He wasn't the starter.
Well,
OKC
that's the thing.
That was more development
OKC
phase, the
was-
way I look at it.
And just for the record, he said he wanted to stay there. It was a money thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it
They
wasn't
weren't gonna
about
pay as a sixth
him.
man.
Nah.
It wasn't about him. It was about him not getting what he thought he was worth. And that's not.
It
That's
turned out he was worth money.
right. And I mean, like that's the thing
And
is,
Morey jumped on it early.
Dave, if you go to your boss and you ask for a raise, and year after year after year they say no, and you bust your ass, aren't you going to think I'm worth more than what they're putting me out there for?
I've had that situations before. but go
Right.
ahead.
So Harding thought that way in OKC. So he went to Houston. He saw Houston as an opportunity.
But
'cause-
he played with KD. That's my question.
right, but KD wasn't
And
even
Westbrook.
But
And
KD
Westbrook.
wasn't
And
even.
Ibaka.
Keep
Yeah.
in mind,
A younger Ibaka.
KD wasn't KD then. He wasn't the player he is now. Not by his.
Still
I don't know
really
about
good.
that.
He was
He
still
was
really,
so
really
good.
I had a
good.
tough time with
I mean,
that.
he went to the finals. That's why I went
Yeah.
to the
That's what I'm
finals.
saying. I
They
don't-
just
I
lost
don't
to
know.
a good LeBron and them.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
but-
saying? So KD was on his way early.
But my point is that this is a guy that I feel like gets like a bad rap for giving up on teams, and it's like I don't think that's the
You
case.
feel like it's like a couple of teams gave up on him.
I think he was just put in really bad situations.
It's kind of similar if you think about it. They were talking about this the other day, and I forgot. I was actually at that game when AI and Weber fan appreciation night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was no big deal to me. I was like, it was that we're Orlando Magic. We're playing the Magic,
Yep.
and my brother-in-law. We had good seats too, man. I saw Dwight Howard did this crazy dunk over Eric Snow, but they didn't show up. Fans got mad, and then Weber leaves, and then AI, gets traded. But at that point, it wasn't the same. Like the Sixers weren't the same team.
No.
He wanted out. So it's kind of the same thing with Harden. I think going back to Joey's point, and that's not just to say, like, when you look at what Harden's been through and all he's accomplished, I really believe these guys want to win a championship.
Yeah.
It's because they have these meetings that's real talk. Chuck, you never won a championship. That's real feelings. And it's not Charles's fault. Sixers brass has made the poor decision. Right. So I give the Sixers kudos to say one thing that they did, speaking of Iverson, I did not like when they traded for Mutombo. I never liked that trade, and it took away his pieces. And at least with this team, they're trying with Joe to really get it right.
No.
I think they might have figured it out this time.
I told you that there was going to be
think they might
fire.
have figured it
I
out
told
this
you there was going to be fire, and I'm glad you brought up that man's name. Charles Barkley. What a fraud you are.
Uh-oh.
You're going to sit here and act
Sir
like you're
Charles? You're calling Sir Charles a fraud?
Yeah.
No, that's terrible.
No.
You don't get thrown
He's
through a window,
He's
Joey.
a fraud.
Yeah, Joey.
He is a fraud.
Why?
On national television, you're going to sit here and say,
Kenny Shaq.
my Sixers, I hate to say my Sixers, that my Sixers got a bad trade. Like, they got Harden, and he was knocking Harden, and he was praising Simmons. I'm like, okay, I'm still wondering what has Simmons done in the playoffs. I'm not even talking about. You can sit there and say Defensive Player of the Year. You can say Rookie of the Year. Those are all regular season accolades. What has he done in the postseason? Nothing.
His numbers are going down.
Last time I checked, in order to win a championship, you have to go and win in the postseason.
It's
Man.
not just Charles Barkley. It's
No.
like all these so-called experts are like why are we coddling Ben Simmons now? Like he's like the next Michael Jordan. It's
Man,
like,
I sure
I
do
don't
wish
get
I
it,
could
dude.
rewind to a year ago this time, Joe, and just have you talk to yourself.
Yes.
Because you were total, and I understand stances change, especially what Ben Simmons did, but you were so
I was
adamant.
lied to.
Yeah,
I
well,
was
it
lied
was,
to.
It was.
No, you were
his-
just used.
His ceiling used up and tossed aside. Now, his ceiling and the potential, and everybody just
I
got
didn't even
tired.
visit the Jack Shack and get used.
Yeah. Everybody just got tired of hearing potential.
I was in the same frame of mind he was a year ago. I mean, I had arguments in my living room with my son about the same thing. Like, you can't trade this guy's potential away. He's too good, and he is. You look
But
on the surface, he is.
This is the
But-
other thing too, Frank, is that the national media is blaming us too.
Oh my God!
They're blaming us.
The damn Dan Levitard show this week. Oh my God! I want.
Please go on.
In the same, Dan Levitard in the same breath brought up how we abused Simmons and throwing snowballs booing Santa Claus.
Oh God, here we go again.
He said in the same breath he talked about
Low-hanging fruit.
how we abused Simmons, how we booed Santa Claus. He got that wrong. We threw snowballs, Dan, and how we were cheering for Michael Irvin getting hurt.
And Dan,
you were at that game.
I was at that game. That didn't happen.
And the fact
that's an absolute national lie.
Yeah.
and the
It
fact
didn't
that
happen.
Dan,
when Deion started praying over him.
When he started doing his
His
histrionics
dance
on the
is when
field,
they were booing Dion.
They were booing Dion.
Yeah.
I remember that. I watched the game. I remember
I was,
that.
I was
The
sitting
fans-
right there. I was
Because
right.
everybody was kind of quiet.
They went silent.
It went
dude.
silent, yeah.
I was right there. The state
Yeah.
when he didn't move.
Yeah.
When he didn't move after that, the initial hit was like, oh.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then-
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
everybody went.
I remember
whoa.
that. Everybody went, whoa,
Everybody
yeah.
went whoa.
Yeah.
And they were quiet for I'm going to say a good
2 minutes?
minute.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay?
Before it was
And then
a minute.
Dion walked over. When Dion walked over, when the trainers were around, and he realized he wasn't moving, that's when he started flapping his hands and praying. And we all thought in the stands, and I mean, there was Dallas fans sitting next to me. We all thought that he was complaining that it was a cheap hit, and because he was doing it in front of the ref. And that's when everybody turned. That's when everybody started
Booing.
booing.
Well,
but nobody shows this on the video. You never see this on any replay of Michael Irvin on the video. But when they carted him off the field and he raised his hands, we cheered.
Yeah, yeah. I remember
We
that.
cheered.
and
I
I'm,
saw that.
I'm glad.
I saw that.
I'm
He
glad you're
did.
bringing that up
Yeah.
and Dan
All right,
Levitard
I remember
because
that, Frank. Yeah.
Dan Levitard on air put a hit on Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
What?
Put a hit
Yeah.
on Joel Embiid. Said Ben should go after him
Oh, really?
Yeah.
physically.
That's a big problem for.
That's
for,
a violation.
That's a huge
Where's
violation.
your show
so-
recorded out of? What's
oh, it's
what-
ESPN.
It's
in
ESPN
Connecticut?
Radio.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's not too far.
Now,
to
now,
drive. Okay.
now, I mean,
No. I believe me.
You'll make that drive in?
Maybe Philly sports trips could run a
But he's-
caravan up there.
he's
you know?
just- he's-
There you
We
go.
got connections. Believe me. We can make this happen.
Dan Levitard is just one of a slew of ESPN national guys and even TNT national guys that have come down on the side of Ben Simmons because of his mental health. Okay,
Yet shockingly, he's
funny.
He's
It's-
over it.
It's really funny.
Yeah,
that
stable.
he doesn't declare that he has a mental health problem until after he finds out that if he declares that he has a mental health problem, the Sixers have to pay him. Okay, and he claims an illness that he knows nobody can question him on.
Right.
All right, but before he claims mental health, he said the coach said things about me, JoJo said things about me, the fans are really tough. You know, he came out with 47 excuses for why he wasn't going to play this year until Lane Johnson left the Eagles for 2 weeks, because 3 weeks,
3 weeks,
for mental health, and saw the response of the Philadelphia fans to Lane Johnson and went, I got to get these people back on my side, and I can get paid at the same time.
That's why Jason
why I
Kelsey
did it.
went after
And
Ben.
Good looking, Michael.
The rest of my life,
I Fuge.
the rest of
You're
my
the bus
life,
driver.
anytime I go to a Sixers game, the rest of my life that he's playing, I'm going to scream, how's your mental health tonight?
Listen, he's already talking about coming back to play next week. He's already over this mental. He's on the bench, smiling through his mask.
5 weeks ago, the word out of his camp was he's not going to be able to play this season because of this mental health problem.
Yeah. I remember that.
Geez, that's
And he's so called over it now. It's like I don't get it. You know,
No.
he's over
It's
it now
not-
because he's getting a
and,
paycheck.
and what
There you go.
and what the national media is trying to paint us as are people who are not sensitive to folks who are dealing with
And that's
stuff like that.
bullshit.
No,
in
That's
my
bull.
mind.
What
Now,
the
here's-
thing
I say
is,
it's bullshit,
we're
too.
pissed because we see right through you and we're calling you out on your
Yeah,
shit like we always do.
TK, here's the thing. We as the fans, I mean, we don't because we're sitting here, but the fans by and large really have no voice.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And they do, and they have to change the narrative on Ben Simmons, and they have to change it because he's a product, and they have to sell that product. So they don't care about us. They bulldoze us all the time. We are just the low hanging fruit of sports talk. And if Ben Simmons had done this in any other town, it wouldn't be an issue because he would have just disappeared. But because it's Philadelphia, it's easier to change the narrative to make the fans responsible for what happened than it is for actually Ben to take responsibility for himself.
Well, I think the other thing
Exactly.
is that like the six of us here are entrenched in sports, right? We're entrenched in shows, sports talk
Yes.
radio. We our ears are to the speaker, right? So we know the truth, right?
Right.
Be it from the games in which we watch, listen to the sports media here in the city. So when the other night when the Sixers were playing on TNT, the debacle Tuesday night game, and then Thursday night, and they one particular comment, like when Joe goes to the locker, Joe Allen B is going to the locker, his wrist.
Yeah,
I wasn't
saw
worried.
that.
Let me tell you
Yeah.
why I wasn't worried.
He had a good bathroom.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He does that, Dave. And I'm saying to myself,
You know, it
yo,
happens.
He
It
does
happens.
that. He's
Dude,
done
I
that a
was-
few times this year. I'm like, he went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And the security walks with him, right?
Right, yeah.
Sure enough, he comes back, and it's like, and I was like, y'all,
Well, did you
y'all
hear
don't
the-
pay-
Dave, it's
y'all
funny.
don't
I
know.
was
No,
getting
they're
annoyed. Like,
trying
here
to
we go
build
again.
drama
And then it's-
in any way they can.
Well, did
Yeah.
you hear the
That's what the
announcer?
national media does. They try to build drama.
And it's like, Dave, I'm like, yo, he's going to the. I knew it.
I knew
He's
he had a
done
good
it
bathroom.
before.
Did you hear what the announcer said when he was walking off? He goes, they're walking him to the locker room.
Yeah.
It must be that wrist problem
Yeah,
again.
and I'm saying, I was like, no,
what
to
wrist
myself,
problem? What
I said,
wrist
he's going to the
problem?
bathroom, and sure enough, he comes
there
back
were-
within
no,
5
but
minutes.
There were times where he was playing.
So,
with a
yeah.
little-
And he's taped up, but I knew he was going to. So and then Jimmy Jackson, who's actually pretty good
Yeah,
doing
Jim
Jim
does a
Jackson.
good game.
Yeah, he does a good game,
does
but
well.
he's like he's always to the ground, and you fall so many. I'm like, dude, like if you watch, that's what he does.
That's his game.
So and it's like I get it, y'all can't watch us every night. But at least do your homework,
Yeah.
Frank. At least
Right.
get it.
Don't be
at least-
lazy.
I
Don't
would, hey,
be
Allah,
lazy.
hey Allah, hey Kate. What are some of the things? Don't be lazy to point out
Right.
that they do, so I can pick up on. You can make a phone call. So that's the stuff
Every
that bugs me
single one-
more than anything.
every single
It's
one
these
of those
false
national
narratives
people.
is like, dude, you don't even know what we do, how we
Back-
get down here.
Exactly.
Every single one of those national people, even at ESPN and God, they have more, have this thing in their hand, and
That's
they
how you
can
get that
get
homework.
they
Click
can
bites.
get they can
Joey's
get to
favorite
the
thing.
they can
Click
get to the
bites.
Googly app. They can get to the Googly app and go, let's read some articles about Philadelphia and what Ben Simmons did, just so when I do show prep, I
Yes.
know what the hell I'm
Right,
talking
that's
about.
Right,
when I
and
go on
they don't know. Let me just real quick. And someone brought it up this week. They don't know about when he was horrible. James in the playoffs last year with the free throws, we were cheering him on.
Yes.
Yes.
We were encouraging him.
Yeah.
Oh, but I guess that's.
We were supportive with him.
Right. You know
I guess
what I'm
that
saying?
doesn't matter.
No.
James even talked about that on one of the shows last year.
It doesn't
Yeah.
make headlines, Joe.
No.
The big bad Philadelphia
And it's
fan
like,
base
wait a
is
second.
what
Did
makes
it-
headlines.
He quit on us.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying
Yeah,
he
but
Keith
did.
Pompey goes
But
on
they-
Mike's show and says he said he's not ever playing for the Sixers.
You know, when the
But
Philadelphia
national media can't do that. They can't make the player the problem because they have to sell him.
Yep.
So they make us the problem because we can't defend ourselves.
So I'm going to chime in on one other person on ESPN
Uh-oh.
that I got an issue with.
Uh-oh.
ripping him up today, Joey, aren't you?
go.
Listen,
All out there.
Rip it up, Charles.
y'all know
Like
I
a
ain't.
bat- like
I'm
a-
not afraid of calling people out onto the carpet.
Okay.
Y'all know I'm not afraid of it.
I always thought you were timid.
Yeah.
Mr. Stephen A. Smith.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
You want to bring on a guy who's a malcontent in the Sirius XM podcasting world just to boost your ratings. Why don't you send a car, come get me, and face me one-on-one?
Uh-oh.
And we'll see where the debate goes. Because right now, you went from a beat writer in Philadelphia to a complete turncoat in New York. And the fact of the matter is, you're soft with your arguments because you don't have any substantial things to back it up other than you laughing. That's not an argument that's backed up by fact. That's just you being a joker. So if you got some kind of set underneath you, you can connect with me anytime. I'm not hard to find. But I will tell you this, I will put you in your place. And I will make sure you understand where I stand when it comes down to Ben Simmons. Because I was, like Tom said, on Ben's side a year ago. But he lied to us. So we take issue with that. And as you have said it so many times, how disrespectful of you to actually come from this city, know what this city is about, and walk up to New York, walk up to Stanford, and act like you know better. That
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
and that's all I got to say about that.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Marks.
Yes. I heard Steve.
Joey, did it ever occur to you that he just doesn't want to play in Philadelphia?
Who?
Ben.
Well, hang on. Let me.
Yes, Joe. Or yes,
Let-
Joe.
let
Yes,
me- let me
So why
answer that
sign these-
question.
It occurred to all of us.
I get that, but I'm just saying, the man didn't want to be here. That's all.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like,
Then don't
well,
sign the contract.
let me answer this
get
question. Like, why doesn't he think that Brooklyn's going to be any better? If he passes on a shell like he did last year against the Hawks, those guys are going to be whipping them a new
Yeah,
asshole.
I mean,
like,
the New York media is not soft by any
right?
stretch.
Right.
Not
Let-
sorry.
let-
The worst.
Let's be
fans neither.
let's be clear, guys.
Those
They're in the
fans are
honeymoon
different.
phases.
It's
They're in the
very
honeymoon
different.
phase.
So
It's
it's
If they don't get the
the
way, they get
Northeast
f-
corridor.
foot back.
It's a honeymoon.
He's a
it's
bomb.
honeymoon
Get him
for
out of
Harden,
here.
too.
Right.
He's
Right
a
now.
bomb.
But here's
Put
the
him in the
difference.
bathroom.
Here's
Put him
the
in the
di-
bathroom. Get him going. He can't play. He
here-
stinks.
Here's the difference,
I'm
Dave.
telling you, that's
They're
how-
both teams are in the honeymoon phases. I won't disagree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the difference. After the honeymoon phase comes the playoffs.
Okay.
Who shows up in the playoffs? Well, James might have not shown up every playoffs, but at least he has the guts to take the shot. Ben has proven time and time and time again that he is not the guy. Good luck.
And
I'm-
what if he does this time, Joey?
What if what? What if
What
the
if-
sky
what if-
falls?
what if Brooklyn
I get
what
$1
if
million?
Brooklyn shows up?
And if my aunt had balls, she'd be my
I've heard
uncle.
that too. But I'm saying,
What if the Dallas Cowboys actually win a Super Bowl in this millennium?
Joey, I'm still waiting for that. But no, my thing is, here's the deal. KD, Kyrie, Patty Mills, Ben, Steph Curry, and put my man Andre the Drummond in there.
Andre the Drummond.
Joey, it's a scary team.
You know,
it's a scary team if you think about it.
I'm going to say
It
something.
really is. And you can sit there and tell me, okay, I still think Brooklyn got the better end of the trade. I just do.
I'm going to get fired upon on this comment, and I know I am.
Go ahead.
Kyrie, KD, Ben, and Patty Mills.
Mhm.
Okay,
And Drummond.
they're all Robins.
They're all
There are no Batmans on that team.
KD's a Robin.
KD's a Robin.
Get out of here.
What? Who won? Let me ask you
KD's the
something.
best player on the floor, Joey.
Who led
Yeah,
the
Joe
team?
KD's a-
Who
KD's the
led
best player on the
who
floor.
let-
Joe, I'm starting to get
Joe.
this vibe that you don't like Kevin Durant very
No.
much.
But
No,
understand
he's-
something.
He's the best player on
He's
the
the
floor.
best player in the
Hold up,
game.
hold up,
Offensively, hands down.
hold up.
Hands down. He's the
Hold
best
up.
offensive player in the game.
In the finals, when he was in Golden State, who led the team in points?
Curry.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, but they brought him in there.
But Brooklyn's got a Curry
They
too,
brought-
Joey.
They brought him in there specifically.
But it ain't
because
Steph.
Matt Barnes, the year before when they lost to Cleveland, they brought him in there specifically because to replace Matt Barnes. Nah, listen.
KD.
Am I a fan? No, but
Listen,
he's a great.
him
and I
being
think
a
great
Robin-
player. He doesn't miss, Joe.
But
Joe, he doesn't miss.
Hang on. Me calling him a Robin
Doesn't matter.
isn't saying that I'm saying he's not talented. It's just that he needs a
Talented?
Batman.
He's beyond talented.
Well,
He
awesome.
needed that Stephen Curry
No, that
to
was
be
a-
the Batman.
No, that was a great. No, without. Well, okay. So even when he was with OKC,
Because look at what happened when he was the Batman last year. He failed.
Okay.
I'm just saying, what happened when he was the Batman last year? When
Well,
he was the only
that's
guy
'cause his
on the
foot
floor.
was a half size too large because he got called out of stepping out of bounds.
I mean, I'm
Stepping
just
out- if
saying,
He didn't get caught.
This
stepping out
is
of
a
bounds,
guy,
they wouldn't
like,
say-
even if you go back to the OKC, he had Westbrook when Westbrook was, like, dropping
Yeah,
triple
Westbrook
doubles.
wouldn't give him the ball at all.
Well, this is true, but when he
At all.
did, they thrived.
Yes.
But that in terms, if you wanted to go as far back as OKC and put him as the Batman there, fine. But he didn't win a championship
No,
in OKC.
I mean, no. So to say, I see what you're saying. I really do see what you're saying. In all seriousness,
And
but-
Kyrie was the Robin to LeBron.
So he was, but I think what they were hoping was that Kyrie would be the point or Harden, however they want to do it, and then KD is going to put the icing on the cake type deal. Didn't work. 16 games played, and here we are. I see what you see a little bit with your boy Ben, but the problem with Ben Simmons is
that's accurate too.
That's great.
is something about the playoffs, and James alluded, he just freezes.
But
like
he doesn't have to shoot with this team.
Well, see, I disagree with
I
that.
disagree
Let
with
me
that.
tell you why.
I'm sorry.
How can you
Because
disagree with
what
that?
happens-
Curry, KD, and Patty Mills. He does not. Have
He
to
doesn't
do it.
shoot!
But he doesn't have to with this team, James.
Hold
he
up.
doesn't have to.
Okay, okay.
There's
Incorrect.
no reason for him to shoot.
But why is he going to shoot
Because he
now?
doesn't have to now.
Dave,
listen,
inc-
Dave,
Dave,
that's
incorrect.
impossible. Dave,
Hang on,
Dave,
Dave.
If he
Dave,
just plays defense
hang on.
on this team, it's all they
Dave.
need.
Incorrect.
ball, bro.
He has
Incorrect.
Gotta shoot the
He
ball.
Are
has
you
to
kidding?
shoot.
Dave, you played enough
If you
ball.
don't shoot, it's going to be a 5-on-4.
Hang on.
One at a
It's
time.
like a
power
one
play.
at a time. One at a
Exactly.
time.
Hang on. Hang on.
Exactly.
When you
Dave,
have- when
he
you
has
have
to
a
shoot
KD,
because he has to shoot free
when you have a
throws.
Patty Mills, and
When
you
he
have a
when he
Curry,
gets wait a minute.
what's he have to shoot for?
Wait a minute. When he gets fouled, does he or does he not have to go to the free throw line and
Joey, he
shoot
can
all
just
on his
play
own?
defense and it's all
No,
good.
no. You answer
Hey.
my
But
question.
here's the thing. But with 5 minutes left, right? Like, do you
If
think
I
they're
got
not going to
KD with
hack
5
10?
minutes left, I don't need anybody else. If I got KD, I'm
When
good.
the game's on the
You
line?
know this.
Yeah.
You know, of all people, you know
Yeah,
this.
and who and
If I-
and if
bullshit.
Ben
If I
is
have
bringing
KD,
them-
if I have KD on the floor with 5 minutes left, do I
But what
need
if he
Ben Simmons?
fouled out?
Yeah, I do.
yeah, and if
Because this could you say
Play
with your
defense, yeah.
But here's the thing.
Hack-a-Ben works both ways now.
Right. That's
Thank
what we're
you.
saying. And today, to say you're not shooting, that's why we lost in the playoffs last year.
Yep.
When they decided, oh, this dude's not shooting the ball, I can double team Tobias. I can double team Joe. People get on Tobias. Tobias was taking shots he wasn't normally taking.
No, because he was
dude
being
wasn't
forced
shooting.
to.
So
So,
let's
Dave.
let's go to the other night.
Exactly.
Let's go to the other night when Thibault starts the first half.
Okay.
Now he's shooting the ball, but he's 0 for 4.
Right.
Giannis goes, oh, I don't have to defend him. He's going to miss. I can double team Embiid.
Right.
I can double team Tobias. I can double team Maxey. Doc Rivers, who people want to get on about his subbing and coaching, makes the best adjustment. Korkmaz, you're starting because I have to defend this guy now. Because he's going to at least make 1 out of 3. He's not going to go 0 for 4.
That's true.
So he makes the defense honest.
Okay.
If Ben Simmons is not shooting the ball, the defense is not honest.
Dave.
Exactly.
Dave, what's the biggest difference between regular season basketball and playoff basketball?
Defense.
Half court
Half
game.
It
court
becomes
game.
a half court game. And in a
Which
half
we
court
improved upon,
game,
by the way.
the way Simmons plays, he becomes the invisible man.
Because he's
Because he won't allow the offensive prowess that we all see, especially going to the hole.
Yep.
He doesn't use it. Okay? That creates space for everybody else. And when he disappeared in the Atlanta series, the Sixers crumbled. The stinking
so let's
Atlanta
go,
Hawks
let's
beat
go,
us.
Let's go to game 1.
And the Wizards almost
Were we
beat
not
us.
up
Ben, one of Ben's biggest
Were we not up
attributes
17?
is transition defense, and
we
you
blew
don't
the lead?
get it in the playoffs like you do in
You don't.
Excellent.
Correct.
his length and his
Excellent point.
speed to cover
point.
ground.
Nobody's questioning his
Excellent point.
his
Excellent
his
point.
his
Was it
skill.
a game 1 or 2? We were up by 16 or 17 and we blew that lead.
You'd have to be
Two.
you'd have to be a moron to say that Ben Simmons doesn't have great skill and ability. He's an awesome defensive
And that's my
player.
point. No,
He's an
That
awesome
was game
facilitator.
1 that we
But you
lost
need
it.
offense
That was
to
game
win.
one.
But
That was game one.
but you know what?
We lost that game.
There's times when you need to step up, and he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that gear. And I don't care who you got at the other 4
Well-
positions. If he does that with the Nets in the playoffs, guess what's going to happen? The Nets are going to lose. I
So-
don't care
so-
if you got
so
KD.
I have a question.
I don't care if you have Kyrie. If they're playing 5-on-4,
Yeah.
they're going to lose.
I have a question for you.
They're going to give up leads and lose.
Something that's been
Agreed.
on my mind for the past few days. It was on my mind a month ago, but it's resurfaced after his press conference. He said he had issues with the team prior to it. I believe it's when they tried to initially trade him for Harden during the regular season last year, and it didn't work.
I'm calling BS
Well,
on
that's
this
when he
total-
was
total
told.
press conference.
That was when he was told he was being put on the trade
Right,
block.
right. So then moving forward, he said, I had other issues. And by the way, Mike Missinelli said they had a great point when they played his interview. They said none of those reporters asked him, what was you diagnosed with, mental health, and are you getting
Well, that
your
was a
treatment?
softball thing.
Yeah, they
Philly
let it
should
go.
have sent somebody up there.
So with that said, I'm wondering, did he check out in the Hawks series to deliberately not shoot the ball?
No,
In the
it's a pattern with him. You know that.
No, but listen, I've never seen. And I've been watching ball for a long time.
So you think he coasted?
I don't know. I'm like, how do you like?
That's diabolical.
You talking
if
about
it
Charles?
is.
Charles Barkley
Yeah.
said this is
You think he
impossible.
sabotaged it from
to
within?
not shoot the ball in the fourth quarter for 4 straight playoff games.
That's why
and
I'm-
you're an integral part of that team. I'm talking about not missing. I'm talking about literally not shooting.
But that's why I called Charles a fraud, because this is coming from the guy that busted his ass when he was a player.
Who, Barkley?
Barkley.
Yes.
So, like, for a guy who's a workhorse like that guy to make everything happen that he had to.
Saying it was a bad thing. He's like he didn't believe he did that.
What?
He said that's impossible. Like he couldn't believe it. He knew he did it, but he's like that's crazy. Like
But
he didn't do that.
But my point is that the fact that he was on TNT and saying that he felt like the Nets had the more dominant part of that trade because of Ben Simmons and what he could bring.
Well,
I just was like,
I mean, it's just let's have shooters, man. They can shoot the ball.
Yeah, but they went and lost 11 in a row. That's not going to change overnight.
The other night, they were playing the Knicks, and they were down 26, and they came back and won.
Well.
And they didn't have KD. They didn't have Ben. They
Okay,
didn't have Kyrie.
I know
and they
you-
still won the game.
I know you're a fan of Julius Randle, but don't stick up for the Knicks.
I'm not.
Don't.
I'm not sticking up for the Knicks. I'm just saying, without
By the
those
way,
four guys
Tom, if you missed it, he
Without-
put Julius Randle in the top 10
without
NBA
those
players.
four,
He got upset when I said
Top 10 of
With-
what?
NBA players
Of what?
of right now, top
The
10.
league?
Yes,
Randall.
Julius
Well,
Randle.
That's a good team he is. Sure. Anyway, that's not.
Marinate on that for
My
a minute.
point is,
What?
he said marinate
No.
on that for a minute.
Yeah,
You should have
Rodney.
seen Tom's
no
eyes.
KD, no Kyrie,
You should
no
have seen Tom's eyes.
Ben.
Wow.
But yet, down
The eyeball
26,
pop on that.
they came back and they beat the Knicks. Big win there.
That's a big
So-
win.
Sure, when you're down 26, you
Well,
come back and
here's
win.
the thing. I'll tell you right now. I think that the Nets are going to be like, depending on what the vaccination status with Irvin is.
that's gonna be
is
listed
that
too.
they might be 5-on-3 without
That-
Ben or Simmons.
That's what
I'm
Anthony. That's what
I'm
Anthony's
gonna make
saying
this
on
statement.
That will
Facebook.
be
I'm going to
listed.
make this statement right now. When the Sixers win the championship,
When?
Yeah.
Dave's not allowed to go to the.
I'm not.
to the
I told
party.
you I wasn't going.
He's
to the
gone.
party.
He's not going.
What?
Why wouldn't you go to the parade?
What are you
Jason-
talking about? It's not the
He's
Eagles. I can see Eagles.
boycotting it.
Because they got rid of Ben Simmons
And
got
got
over the
James
hump.
Harden.
And
they
didn't-
Oh, then why
been
wouldn't you
happy
go?
to see Simmons go?
You
Simmons
wanted
go.
Julius Randle over Harden? What's going on, man?
No, he wanted that.
He wanted Beal.
You know what I
He wanted
wanted.
He wanted
Bradley
Bradley
Beal.
You guys
Beal.
know what I wanted.
Bradley Beal.
I wanted Ben to shoot the ball.
No, I wanted Bradley Beal on this team.
Yeah, and he's on
So
an
you'd have been
operating
okay with
table.
That's not going to make a
Ben Simmons.
difference, though.
Hey,
That's the
Dave.
thing.
Dave, you still might get your wish.
I hope.
No,
so.
I think he
I heard
will.
that.
Yeah, you still might
I,
get
do-
your
I
wish.
hope so.
But that's going to be a loaded squad. So then Tobias would be more. But I'm not here to talk about Tobias.
Right.
Let's talk about construction.
All right, so
now,
let
let's
me
stay in this mode.
now. I've literally got the one question, and it's 9:43.
Wow, that was.
I told you I had
I
fires.
wrote,
was
I wrote
intense.
down 15 of them.
I told you. That
I
was
knew there was
intense.
going to be fire.
Let's
No,
cover
I
at
love
least
it.
half of them.
Listen, TK, when you write up your pre-show sheet, the top of the page should be topic 1, no plan.
You know, I'm a
get to at least
psycho,
7
so
of
I
them,
can't
'cause that
can't
was
not do
intense.
show prep.
Okay, that's fine.
But
That's
this
insane.
this crew for sure does not
Yeah.
need show prep
That
in
was-
any
that was
way, shape, or
intense.
form.
That
However,
was intense.
I have a question for my old timers.
Sure.
You guys know who you are.
Thank you.
I plead the fifth.
Damon and Frank, if anybody's
I
wanting.
plead the fifth.
And Joey and I, and Dave as well. Dave as
Take
well.
me out of that
and
situation.
Joey and I are borderline, and then James is the
I
young
think he's
buck
going
of the
OG
crew.
here.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Does this move resemble any moves back in the day that you may remember that were really pivotal to the
Absolutely.
Philadelphia Sixers' success and maybe that 1983 championship?
Yes.
Frank start. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, not just the Sixers. I mean, I put the Harden deal. It's on a transcendent level in Philadelphia sports. It's not isolated to the Sixers, and I compare the Harden deal to the Rick Wise for Steve Carlton deal that had an impact on the Phillies for another decade.
That was a crazy deal.
It's considered the most lopsided trade in
It was.
70s baseball. 1970s
I
of
remember.
that decade, it was the most
Yes.
lopsided trade.
Yes.
I consider the acquisition of Pete Rose on that level, and I consider the acquisition of Moses Malone on the same level as us acquiring James Harden.
What about Terrell Owens for?
I just wrote that down. I just wrote that
Terrell
down.
Owens definitely.
just wrote that down.
But see, the rest of those moves, the end result was a championship.
Right.
Okay, Terrell Owens wasn't.
Right.
And then Terrell Owens blew the team up. none of those other guys blew the team up in their wake.
True that.
It's funny, and
And then he went to the Cowboys and cried about his
I
quarterback.
wasn't. I mean, I was 2 when they won the championship in '83.
The two guys
What
you
was-
mentioned were champions.
What was the fervor when they brought in Moses? Was it similar to what's going on
Oh,
here
yeah.
with Harden?
God. Oh, my God.
Yeah, without the social media, yeah, it was definitely. But let me just real quick. When Pete Rose got here his first year, we didn't win.
No, we didn't.
It took the next year for the Phillies to win it, but he was just coming off his incredible season with Cincinnati,
the Reds.
with all the hit streak.
44 games.
Yeah, and so it was I remember doing current events. We did current events every week in elementary school and talking about Pete Rose coming to Philly, and that was a bit. And I'm like, I don't know, 9,
There was
8, 9,
a
10 years
reason.
old.
There was a
It was
reason.
huge.
There was a reason they didn't win in '79, and it had nothing to do with the Phillies because the Phillies had an outstanding
Was manager-
team.
manager.
No.
Oh, yeah,
It had,
manager.
well, I mean that was the end result because we had played out Danny Ozark.
Well,
Yeah.
I was,
But no.
Was Green with him in '79 or no?
He
Green
was,
came
he was
back-
in
he
the
was
organization.
in the
No,
organization.
he was in the front office.
He was in front office.
He was
Yeah.
in the front office.
Okay.
And he didn't even start out as the manager in '80. But go ahead.
No. But in '79, the Phillies not only acquired Pete Rose, but they acquired Manny Trio. Okay, making the
Good call.
finest infield the Phillies have ever had in their
Awesome.
history.
Underrated too.
But
Very.
the problem wasn't on the Phillies field. The problem was that team out west in Pennsylvania. The year before,
Pirates, yeah.
the year before, the
Awesome team.
Phillies literally snatched the division away from the Pirates at the end of the season.
Was Stargell still with them?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Stargell, Willie. It was Stargell, Parker,
Kenta Colby.
Madlock.
Who's a sidearm pitcher in Philly got later.
He was a Philly.
they were.
Yeah, later, yeah.
They had a great baseball team.
Awesome.
I mean,
People was wearing Pirates hats. They used to wear like how people wear like
Yeah.
the Hornet starter jacket.
Right.
People in Philly would wear Pirates hats.
So
Like, it was crazy.
when the Pirates went into spring training in '79, their mission was win the championship, and their front office delivered. They got them an extra starting pitcher. They got them a little more help in the bullpen, and that team came out fired up.
Well,
Okay, and they beat the brakes off of everybody. I mean, that's the year Stargell. I think not Stargell. Parker was the last.
Parker,
triple,
yeah.
Parker.
last- He was the last Triple Crown winner in the National League,
yeah.
and he won MVP that year.
That
So
was big
I'll-
time. But with all that, like to your thing about what this reminds you, it does remind you of obviously the Moses deal with the Sixers. And I just think that I like what Big Fella said. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I don't think it's going to be that much time.
I want to add into this
Good
because
morning, Dale.
because of one
Norm,
because I wanted to ask because I
Good point.
don't know, but after this trade, we're now going to be dealing with the buyout market, and I actually want to chime in with what Freddie Burns had said on Wednesday, which was there's some guys that he gave some insight into some guys that are coming out that are going to be in the buyout market that are quality talent. DeAndre Jordan is a name I liked that Freddie threw out there. I like the fact that you can get a guy who's still athletic. He can get some rebounds, maybe not as many as Drummond, but he's very athletic still. You have a guy also going to be possibly in the buyout market, Eric Gordon. And I like that because him and Harden both played in Houston back when Harden was MVP. So this is a guy that already has chemistry with Harden and has an understanding with him. You get both those guys on this team, I think it's it's even more of an upgrade than just bringing Harden.
There's a problem with
But,
both of those guys.
But I want to you can get to that in a minute. What I wanted to ask though, from the '83, Moses was the '83.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the '83 and the '80 Phillies. Were there you have these guys like Rose and Carlton and everything, but
Yeah.
were there like free agents
Yeah.
that were at like little sub pieces that weren't like the superstars, but they were very big contributors?
Wasn't Tug was a free agent, wasn't he? When
No,
he,
Tug
Got
was
him from
with
the Mets.
he was at the Mets, right?
Yeah,
before he came.
but he came to the Phillies. He was with the Phillies for 4 years before that.
But
Yeah,
to Joey's
it was
point,
him and
Players like Chris Long on that Eagles Super Bowl.
So there was a
run,
guy-
right, Joe?
there's a
Him,
guy-
and Gene, him and
Exactly.
Gene Garber were the back end of the
well,
the
they had
pitching staff.
Bystrom and they had who was the other one? Christensen.
Yeah, Larry Christensen. But Larry Christensen was a 10-year player with the Phillies.
That's right.
yeah. But the
know.
guy the Sixers got got him from Indiana to help back up Moses was Clement Johnson.
Right.
Clement Johnson came in and really solidified the backup center position.
Was Caldwell Jones with that team too?
No,
they
we
traded
traded
him.
Caldwell to get Moses. So
That's right.
what happened was
Moses was not happy about that.
So let's go back. So what happened with the Sixers? Actually, the Sixers went to the finals in '82 and lost
Correct.
to the Lakers.
Right. Right.
They had Caldwell and Dow Dawkins. Both of them got wristed. So and it wasn't enough because every time they would go up to Kareem, they couldn't match up with Kareem.
Yeah, but that was the one where Kareem got hurt. And Magic played.
No, that was Magic's rookie year. That was 79-80. That was Magic's rookie year. When with the ankle, that was Magic's rookie year. When he jumped center. Yeah, that's when.
Weren't
that's when
they
Kareem
also
got-
having issues with Worthy?
No, so Worthy didn't play. Worthy broke his leg in his rookie year in '80, so he didn't play in its finals in '83 against us. But going back to when we lost in '82, right? They went ahead and traded on the offseason Darryl Dawkins to the Nets, and Caldwell Jones was involved in the Moses Malone deal, and also we traded our first round pick. We would have got a guy named Rodney McCray, who turned out to be a really good
They actually
player.
had a center named Mark McNamara, if you remember.
Yeah.
He came in later. But so they literally dismantled the whole team and only kept 5 guys. They kept Doc, Andrew Toney,
Cheeks.
Maurice Cheeks, Bobby Jones, and Clint Richardson.
Right.
So after that, they only kept 5 guys from that team. They brought in 7 new guys, including
Don't
Moses.
forget about Frankie.
No, it was Frank Edwards,
Frank
right?
Edwards.
It was Frank Edwards,
Yeah,
right?
okay,
So he was on. You're right. So they brought him in. I think Frank Edwards came in.
Okay.
Yeah, he was one of the 7 new guys that came in. And then to your point, they came out the gate, man. They were like 14-0 or 12-0. Like they came out
beastly.
firing, right?
They were beastly.
And tearing everybody up. And so in the middle of the season, they got Clement Johnson. They needed some backup for Moses, and they made a deal, and it helped, get them over the hump. Particularly because they needed them against Milwaukee, because Milwaukee had the bigs, Lamb, Bob Lanier,
Yeah, oh my
and
God.
Paul Mokeski. It's funny.
Jack Sigma.
Jack Sigma,
Sigma, yeah.
right? It's funny. My buddy brings this point. Every single year,
You forgot Sidney
before
Moncrief.
Sidney Moncrief
Yes.
and was the other guy, I see his face, that could shoot. But every year before we played the Celtics in the finals, we had to play the Bucks.
Every single time.
Every year.
And that was a rough series, man.
Every year.
That was rough to play those Bucks before you got to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
That was a tough team,
I
man.
remember
That's the one that beat us
good
the
teams.
4-5.
How the things have come back around full circle.
Amazing.
Yeah, those Bucks teams were
But
something.
Jack
man.
Sigma was a heck
What?
of a-
Why?
I loved him when he was in Seattle, Jack.
Frank, why do you believe that both was it DeAndre you have an issue with, or is it Eric Gordon you have an issue with?
No. I don't have an issue with either player.
Oh,
The problem is the Sixers only have room for one player.
no, they have 2.
They
They
get 2.
They have 2.
D-Line just said it on the radio.
Oh, they can't get 2?
have
No,
to-
there's 2 two-way players. There's Bassey.
They have to cut somebody to fit.
Well, no, they would have to buy out somebody and then re-sign them to a G League deal.
They would have to take somebody off their roster
Right.
to put somebody else
So hold on,
on
Frank.
the roster.
So let me ask you a question. If they kept the roster as constructed, but take one buyout, they don't have to cut anybody. But if they wanted to add 2 players from the buyout, they
Yeah.
would have to cut someone?
They got to cut somebody. They got to buy
Right.
somebody out and replace.
But because Bassey is technically on the roster,
Yeah.
but he's a two-way player, the fact of the matter is when you have Paul Reed, who's still a two-way player,
I like him too, man.
Paul Reed will probably go back to the G League because they want to keep him under contract. Bassey might get cut and then just re-signed in the offseason again because the G
Right.
League is going to be done in like 6 weeks anyhow.
right. On another.
So I don't
wish
think
they
it's that big of a deal.
I think they should go after Dragic.
Dragic.
I don't think he wants to come here. Word is he wants to go to Dallas and play with
Doncic.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Now, I'm looking at this
I
here.
don't know about that.
What do you feel about Tristan Thompson?
I like Tristan Thompson.
See, he already went to the
What?
Bulls.
Oh, he did. He signed
Yeah,
already because
yeah.
he just got waived.
Right, but I heard this on Thursday.
but-
I heard it on Thursday about Tristan. I thought he was already a Bull, but
No, he was with the Pacers. They
oh,
waived
okay,
him.
yeah, he signed with the Bulls.
Okay, he signed with
He
the
did sign with Chicago.
He did
Yeah.
sign with Chicago. Okay.
I heard that on Thursday on TNT.
I mean, I would like a wing player personally.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I think Eric Gordon comes in.
He could play the wing a little bit.
Yeah, well, he did in Houston. Like he played the wing. He played kind of this Seth Curry role.
Because here's what I like, and I've always liked him. Paul Millsap laid some wood the other night, man.
Yeah, Millsap's a good piece.
Yeah, James, I like that. We need that guy that's going to, hey, man, I'm going to think twice about coming down the lane.
Yeah.
You know, Kyrie, you want
Right.
to come down here? I got something for you, Kyrie.
We know Ben Simmons.
You're really
won't
going to
do
feel
it.
the earth.
so
being
We know
flat,
Simmons
buddy.
won't do it in the playoffs.
So you lost the, you lost the Drummond for Millsap? Is that what I'm not going there. I'm scared. Is that what I'm missing?
Okay.
No, that's where I think DeAndre Jordan is going to come in. I think they're going to get a big because they need to have that
Listen,
rebound.
I like the
Millsap's not that guy.
I've been paying attention since he's
So
been
wait,
there.
let me ask you a question. So
I've been
Andre
paying-
the
wait a
Drummond.
minute, wait a minute. I've been paying attention since he's been with the Nets.
Andre
Yes, sir.
Drummond.
Okay.
Okay. The one game he had 11-9.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The other game he had 11-19.
The comeback game.
Right.
Yeah,
And then
19
then
points,
The other
nice.
day was he was 6-9.
So let me ask you this. I can say
am I missing something?
I wanted both of those guys.
Do
to
you not
stay.
miss this?
But I'm going to throw it out to TK. So you would hold up the trade for Drummond? Like Drummond would hold up the trade for
I
Harden,
wouldn't.
Dave?
I wouldn't do that.
No.
I mean, realistically,
What backup in this league would you hold up a trade like that for?
and the,
I don't know if there
so
is
the only
one.
reason I'm laughing, but so the reason why the Nets go give me Drummond because of Embiid.
Right.
The reason why the Bucks signed Serge
Embiid's
Ibaka
own
because
Drummond.
Embiid.
But Embiid's own Drummond.
Yeah, but they needed something. They can't
No,
have.
I get
they
that.
can't have
They need
Blake
something
Griffin.
that
No,
works.
I know.
Embiid
Right.
beats Drummond like a drum.
Drum.
Yeah.
No, but my point is
I
he
beat
spelled
you.
Embiid.
No,
My
listen,
point.
you get no argument. But what were the Sixers to do?
I still feel like you can make some end moves
people don't
for
like
that.
this trade.
And like I said,
No one likes the
DeAndre
Harden
Jordan.
trade.
You could have gave him.
DeAndre Jordan is a guy who can grab boards.
No one likes the Harden trade.
I just don't. Look when you look at like
understand
There's
it.
no. We cannot convince Dave otherwise, man. And we're
because
all
it-
trying.
It's because he didn't get his boy from
I mean,
Washington.
don't get upset. I get your frustration when Ezekiel Elliott's traded to
Listen,
the Eagles.
he
That's
can-
going down. I got some insight.
he
But-
can send.
Yeah.
He can
He
send.
ain't going nowhere.
He can send flowers to Bradley
He
Beal's
comes
hospital
here.
bed.
He comes here. I do that first show
Yeah,
after that in a belly
flower
shirt.
bouquet.
I don't want him because of the salary he's got. I like him right where he is, just bankrupting the Cowboys' salary cap.
No, that would be Cooper, but that's okay.
Well, hey, I'm
The Eagles,
sorry,
only, the Eagles only
they
take
paid Zeke
Cowboys
too much
running
money,
backs
too.
if they have over 400 rushes
Well,
the
if
year
they cut-
before. That's
if
the only
they-
time
if
that
they
happens.
I
let
go
Coo- if they could
backwards
let
to
go
the
Cooper and,
year after.
that'll sell some
So
money
if they
up.
have $3.99, they don't make
Nah.
the.
Wait, time out, guys. Are you saying that the Cowboys are going to let Cooper go?
It's a possibility.
Yeah, I read that. I
Then
read
the
that this
Cowboys,
week.
The
I read that this
Cowboys,
week. I
the
read that
Cowboys
this
can
week.
kiss their contention
No,
goodbye.
no, but they'll
And they
sign-
gave a lot to get him.
No,
They gave up a lot to get
they'll
him.
draft
They'll
another
draft a
receiver.
receiver.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Amari,
That-
you're
that-
a little
Oh, I'm
pissed
talking
off.
to him.
Lamar, you're a little pissed off that the Cowboys
but-
let you go. Why don't you come to
I'm
Philly?
talking to
No,
him.
but you
Why don't you come
no,
to
no,
Philly?
no. You recite Gallup, and then you take up Juju Smith in the free agency.
You're not getting Juju Smith.
You don't have the money
He
for
wants to
Juju
play in
Smith.
Dallas.
You don't have the
He
money.
wants to play in Dallas.
You
Yeah, a lot of people
don't
want to do a lot of
have
things.
the
You know,
money.
Good luck.
I want to buy the
Yeah.
Walt Whitman Bridge.
People are in
I want to buy the Walt Whitman
D-Lar.
Bridge, but my
That'll save some
account
money
says
up.
What do you do with linebacker?
What are you talking about?
That's a good question.
Okay,
People
what do you do with
want to play
linebacker?
at
Gotta go to the draft to get
Because
one.
now you got okay. So
you're
now
about
you're
to
going
go.
to replace.
No. Van Der Esch is free agent. He's gone.
I know that, but
Oh, Van Der Esch is a free agent?
but if you
Come on down, baby.
Although
that's fine, but
I
like
saw
him.
I
Me
saw
too.
I like him.
on Pro Football Focus
Jabril
they had
Cox
a
is
mock
coming back,
draft.
too.
They had a mock draft that your Cowboys were picking up a D tackle.
Yes.
So in the mock draft for
Yes.
Pro Football Focus.
So you can kiss Juju Schuster goodbye.
Well, he wants to play in Dallas. He said that.
Okay.
yeah, good luck
Van
with
Der Esch
that.
is
He told Dak. He said, "I want to be in Dallas."
Van Der Esch
So
is a
you
free
guys are used to washed up has-beens.
Hey.
Van Der Esch is a free agent?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
He was looking
Joe.
nice in that green.
Yes, he would.
Looking real.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
And I stood next to him.
Leighton's a free
He's a
agent.
big dude, man.
No, I'm saying if they signed, I'm thinking they're going to sign Gallup for give him like a 4-year deal.
Give it
maybe.
to him. Let Van Der Esch come
Okay,
down
and then-
here. He won't come to
Yeah.
us.
Let
He-
Coop
he-
go.
He'll go out west somewhere.
Nah.
Okay, and then bring
Like,
in,
I can see him
Raiders.
going like
bring in
Raiders.
Juju. But here's the
Yeah.
deal: you would have get this. You would have,
Broncos.
Broncos, yeah.
you would have Juju if he just say he signs with Juju, Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb. Not a bad deal.
And you know what?
No, you're not.
You still
You're
won't
awesome.
be able to win
I
in January.
think you're mixing up the player with the feeling. You need good Juju. You don't need bad Juju.
right?
Hey, Juju didn't want to play. Hey, I'll take him.
And
No
you're
problem.
still going to lose in January.
That's fine. I'm used to it anyway. 26
That's it.
years. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So,
But it's
27.
It's not a bad receiver corner. I think about it.
Yeah. No, look, their offense is legit. I'm not. You know.
No, I'm just saying. It's, not,
Oh,
it's
we
actually
didn't
not
talk-
bad.
We didn't talk about the game. I was thinking
But
about
go ahead. Go ahead, DC. I'm sorry.
was the loss in Boston or against Boston the other night?
Good question.
Is that exactly what this team needed? If
well,
you-
I think it was
Good
expected
question.
after the high they were on.
The pomp and circumstance
yeah,
of the
they
whole
just
Harden.
they just went
thing.
out and had a shit
And
burger.
Boston was on a roll too.
Yeah, I think it was like they
And
needed
honest
one
to
of those
God,
games.
though,
I got to be honest. I looked at it when I was watching the game, and I'm like, this is bad. And I went, you know what? This is Boston saying this is the only chance we're going to get to beat this team this year.
Yeah.
So let's beat this.
The way
That's how you saw that?
That's how I
still
saw
no
it.
QB,
Wow.
Dave.
That's how I saw it.
Wow.
Because they know when Harden starts playing for the Sixers, that kind of shit ain't going to happen.
We're talking about Boston, Dave, not New York,
Yeah.
not the Knicks. Don't worry.
Well, I
Yeah,
get
they
it.
were up at
I
like
see you wearing
35,
Boston.
shooting
Come on.
crazy threes,
Yeah, but
James.
look, he's wearing
They were-
Boston green, right?
Not.
He's wearing Boston green here.
Is that Marty McGee's green?
No.
I couldn't see what it said.
Pug Mahomes.
Oh, Pokemon.
Pug Mahomes.
No, they were
Formerly the Pokemon
they were
Homes.
hailing threes. They were up at like 35 points. But no,
They couldn't miss, man.
what,
Every
they
shot
couldn't miss, and the Sixers just looked like, hey,
They were
damn.
sleepwalking.
Yeah, they were just the
No, it was-
rhythm.
I
It was bad.
I enjoy it because I wanted them to get smacked in the mouth like that.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
did
nobody
say
wants to
that.
see their team lose by 50 points, but
Yeah.
45.
48.
When did you,
48.
TK, when did you stop saying okay? Because you know the Sixers will get behind them. We've seen them come back, right? We've seen
Right.
them.
Yeah.
It's like okay. If
No,
they
you
just give
can
me about three possessions.
Well, I thought
right,
maybe if
when
they-
did you realize?
Yeah.
I thought
You
maybe
realize
they cut
it
it to
was
16, they had a shot, but
Dave, me and my son are sitting in the living room, right? We're watching the game, and the Sixers are down 20, right? They're down 20 at the time. I think it was the first half wasn't over yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was
And-
really long, wasn't it?
Yeah. So he's sitting there, and I said, "Oh my God, this is gonna end ugly." And he said, "Oh come on, Dad, you know how basketball is. They're gonna come back in the second half." I went, "Not tonight.
not
No."
tonight.
I know.
There's just vibes.
You just kind of know the rhythm and the energy, and it was just like it was Frank says that I'm thinking about the third quarter. I'm like, damn, we still have a whole other quarter to go.
Listen. You know what happened?
serious?
Mickey.
Yeah, it was pulling teeth.
All right, Mickey Goldmill from Rocky said, "Women weaken legs." James Harden was
on,
the
Rock.
fucking
Legs, yeah.
prom queen, and everybody on
Yeah.
the team had a run at her. They had weak legs.
CK, you know what I think?
He
To your
took
point?
everybody to the
You
strip
know what I
joint.
think? You know what I think? To your
White
point?
House.
Yeah, he took him to an afternoon. run.
Beers and
You know what I
singles on
think?
me.
You know what I think happened?
Elias was open early.
They practiced with that dude in the afternoon and was like, damn, this is what we have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
got out into the game and was like, still on that mode, like, damn, we're going to be able to do that
Yeah.
with that?
Yo, they get two.
But that
practices.
wasn't there
But
on
exactly,
the floor.
exactly. I think that's what happened.
I think everybody was like,
And
they went back
the
to
next night against the Bucks, you saw how vocal he was.
Yeah.
Or not the next night, but the next game.
Yeah, focused. And the team was, and Embiid was. You can tell when Joe's locked, Frank.
You
You
can
can
imagine.
tell when
What
the
did
Can
you-
team's
anybody-
Did you
locked.
hear what
Bucks
Barkley
has
said before
anybody
the game?
else-
Did you hear what Barkley said before the game?
Yeah.
They were predicting. One guy said, "Oh, JoJo's going to have 30 points tonight." He says, "No, he's not. He's not going to have good because they're going to double him down." He walks off with 42.
Yeah.
And 15.
And 15. The
Yeah.
guy's a double-double factory.
Yeah.
But he's doing the 40-something fellas like
Like
okay,
it's
I'm always
nothing. Like it's
for us-
easy.
for all of us, it was current right with AI. It was easy.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, AI got another 40. He leads the league in 40-plus performances.
How many does it have?
He's at 7 or 8.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
I
it
think
was like
it's
7
seven.
or
It's
8.
seven. It's 7. It's 7. It's
He's
7.
the first person to do 40, 10, and 10 since Will Chamberlain.
in 62.
It's insane.
That's
That's just okay.
That's incredible.
And it's like to watch it.
60
and
years ago was the last time it happened.
you
Holy crap.
And a big man.
Yeah.
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 And they
60
got
years
to
ago.
see it, right? So to see him locked and then everyone followed.
Has anybody
Everyone
else
followed.
seen that
Everyone followed.
JoJo's starting to work on that step-back jumper that Harden does?
Yeah, man.
If
Yeah.
he masters that
And he hit it.
at his size, it's
Now-
indefendable.
He got called for a walk in the first
Right,
night, and
yeah.
then his third night he got it.
One, if,
And
could
Maxey
you
too.
imagine
Maxey
if,
did
if,
it.
if he
Maxey did it
masters
too.
that, no one in the world can stop him
Do you know what the
from making that shot.
You
At
know what the-
7'2", fading away.
Do you know what the
stepping back? and
Did he get fouled on that play, or was it blocked?
No, he hit it. He hit the shot.
No. He dribbled twice, stepped back, went for the three, and it was either blocked or was he missed it.
No, but the one TK's talking about, the one the hard one, he hit that one.
No,
the first night he got called for a
top of
walk.
the key.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
he
he
dribbled
did the
twice.
shuffle.
Yeah,
the
because
step.
he's
Step back and he
he's
got,
starting.
like,
He's putting it into his repertoire, so it's going to take a little time.
But
Did you hear
But
what
if he
did-
can master that,
Can you imagine Harden going like he's going to Harden and going, I want to take that, and Harden's like, Okay, go buy.
That's what Kobe used to do to Michael.
Well, they have footage.
That's what Kobe used to do to Michael.
You know what the Cuz calls him. You know what the Cuz calls
An
JoJo.
art forger, yeah.
He calls him the art forger.
The art
Yeah.
forger.
Because JoJo looks at a film of a player
Yep.
and goes, I like that move, and he comes out on the court and
gonna
he does
take
it
it.
as good as the
Yeah.
guy who
Yeah.
Frank, they had footage of Harden showing him and Maxey the move. Like
Right.
he was standing there showing him the move.
He did that with the Akeem Olajuwon.
Right.
He did that with
Jordan.
Dirk.
Yeah.
He
The
did
dream
that with
shake.
Shaq.
Yeah.
With
the
Kobe.
shimmy shake. The shimmy shake.
And I
It
mean,
was amazing to watch.
I had said this, and then somebody
Amazing to watch.
that fraud on TNT took it from me.
Damn,
But
Joe.
Which fraud? There's several.
Yeah, Joe, you're just coming at like all
big
the
time.
media world today.
Time out, Joe.
He's
before
talking
you-
about-
Most-
Time out before you do
most
that.
of-
Joe,
Joe, I
time
think
out.
I think Charles
Sports-
Barkley could take
Dame,
it. Joe.
I have a
do,
question.
I'm sorry.
Dame.
I wouldn't let him.
In a hoagie eating contest, yes.
I wouldn't let him.
Dame, real
We're
quick.
from Grace Ferry. I'll run up on him too. You know how we roll, man.
Time out, Dame, real quick. JoJo,
I bet you can golf better than he can.
and I know your answer, but I would hear it anyway.
Yeah, sir.
JoJo or Patrick Ewing?
JoJo.
Jojo.
Patrick Ewing was trash.
No, he wasn't trash. He wasn't trash, but he wasn't trash.
Patrick Ewing was awesome, man.
But
He was
I wanna-
amazing to.
I wanna
He's
chime
the first
in.
big man I seen with a jump shot.
I want
Yeah.
to put this
Baseline at that.
Yeah.
I'm all fired up now.
I want to put this thought out here for
but I'm taking
everyone.
Joe.
I want to put this thought out here for everyone to debate on. The last time there was a dominant big man and a diverse, versatile guard that was a shot creator that was on the same team
Oh yeah.
was Kobe and Shaq.
Yes.
The last
And I
time,
think
That's the
that
last
worked
time.
out pretty well for them.
Nice.
Yeah, a
Nah,
few
they-
times.
They were hacks.
That worked out pretty well for them.
Kobe
I'm
and Shaq
just
are
saying.
trash
Yeah,
now.
Kobe,
Hacks.
yeah, no, that was a good combination.
They burned themselves
Didn't Kobe
down.
win
They-
one?
they were
Didn't
their own
Kobe
worst
win one
enemy.
without Shaq? Is that my?
He did.
He won two
Yeah,
without
He won
Shaq.
two without, and that's when he. That's when he.
Shaq got one in Miami, and
They
then
were
Kobe
their
got
own.
two.
They were
Thank
their
you.
own worst enemies.
They were, and they grew to at least acknowledge that later
Yeah.
on. Which brings me to Harden. I got the vibe early on that he knows his Embiid's
Well,
team.
here's
Oh yeah.
And he talked
Well,
about that press
absolutely.
conference.
But here's the
was
difference.
awesome. I love
You
Paul
keep
Millsap,
saying
by
that.
the way, in that press
You keep
conference.
saying that.
Here's
I
That
don't
was
know.
awesome.
Here's the difference between Kobe and Shaq.
Oh, we got to. Yeah, go ahead, Frank.
Between-
we got something brewing here. Go
Between
ahead.
Kobe and Shaq and Harden and Embiid. Okay, when Kobe came in and they put him with Shaq, Kobe was a young, full of piss and vinegar
Yeah,
player.
yeah, definitely.
Okay, you could
Fresh
you
out of
can't-
high school.
You can't talk to a kid like that.
Yeah, good
Similar to a guy that used to play for us that doesn't play for us anymore.
Yeah.
who you can't talk to.
Sure.
Okay,
Sure,
and,
good
and,
point,
And
good
actually,
point.
when you try and talk
Good
to him,
point.
he
And
turns.
Shaq was a little young too.
And actually,
But-
Joe,
and-
he's
but
10 now.
now-
It's not 25 anymore.
But now you're getting a guy who's been around the league,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and has seen what a mental block of being, I guess, selfish or egotistical does.
Mm-hmm.
And he went, no. I got a transitional talent in the center of the court,
Right.
and I have my skill and ability. And
Right.
I have these other guys around me who are good shooters from the outside. I just got to encourage that. I see an entirely different thing. I see him. I think he's going to be here probably 3 seasons, maybe 4.
You
Okay,
think?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to
Well,
go.
hold on,
Well, let me finish. Let me finish.
Yeah.
And he's going to tail off. He's going to tail off. But I don't think he's going to tail off. I don't think you're going to notice it because if what I think is going to happen happens, Maxey becomes Harden when he was a sixth man.
All right.
And the other thing, Frank, to your point, I'll say this: he adjusted his game in New York
Yeah.
because his assists were up.
Yep.
So, I do have another comparison for this now, retooled Sixers team. If you ever seen the movie Blue Chips,
Yeah.
Yep.
so you're
Speaking of Shaquille O'Neal.
yeah,
Bought him a tractor.
your Joel Embiid is your Neon Bedreau.
What do we do? Happy? Bought him a tractor.
Your James Harden is your Butch McRae, and I think Tobias Harris is your Ricky Rowe.
Nice.
So that's one of my favorite basketball movies of all time. I love
He
that.
didn't even
So-
want the car. We
so-
bought him a car.
So, Cuz one.
Cuz loves Blue Chips too. By the way.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's good stuff. So, Cuz wants Maxey to come off the bench.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's adamant
Tell
about
us the
it.
Cuz.
Why?
That was my conversation with him when Frank said he
Okay,
Why?
gotcha.
To lead that second wave?
Yes.
Yeah, and so I was sharing with them. I thought that, because he doesn't think he would think he would flourish better with the second unit. He's still going to get the minutes. He's still probably finish
You don't
the
think
game.
he would get the touches?
He doesn't think he would get the touches
Right.
enough with the. I don't know.
Too many shot creators and one ball on the same floor doesn't make that much sense.
But you're going to need him in that transition, though.
I agree, but
get
like
the
you
stop.
want Maxey. If Harden comes off the floor, you want a guy that's going to be fresh, that's a shot creator, and Maxi's exactly that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
Because he's ascended to be a starter, and he's a starter in this league. He's proven himself to be that. Would that alter, hurt, or
What, like stun his growth, so to speak?
If they said, okay, we need you to come off the bench. I mean, it happened to Bobby Jones. He was a starter,
Six man.
he accepted the 6 man, and it led to him being the first 6 man.
If Harden was 28 years old, I'd be worried about that. But Harden's not 28 years.
Yeah.
So
Harden's 32.
So you mean as far as with Maxey, because Harden's older.
Yeah.
Yes. And Harden's game, I mean, right now he is at what I consider for an NBA player the end of his prime. He's at the back end of his prime. He's still a prime player, but he's at the back end. I mean,
Right.
Doc, we all watched Doc do the same thing.
Sure.
You know, Doc tailed off at the end, and even in '83, Doc was not at his prime.
True.
Okay.
77 when they should have won. He was definitely seasoned.
he was lights out.
With the Nets, right?
But
Nets?
That was they blew the series against the Blazers
oh my
2-1.
God.
New Jersey Nets at the
I
time.
mean, no, that's when we lost to the Blazers 2-0. We was up 2-0.
That's they were the New Jersey
But
Nets at the time.
Here's why
Oh, yeah, no, but that was after the eighth
and it's, what I see is I think Maxey's got this kind of mental makeup. Maxey's not an ego guy. He's
No.
I think he's got the right
humble kid.
Yes, I think he's got enough humility to go.
unlike that other guy.
I don't. We can't talk about him because he has no humility. He has no spine.
Maxey's having fun though.
Oh, yeah.
But
Why
I
wouldn't
I enjoy Maxey a lot.
I think Maxey is a blank dry erase board for Harden, and I think he's gonna mold that kid.
And I think he's going to get excited when he sees Maxey take all the tools he's given him.
He's going to convince Maxey. He really will. That look, you being a 6 man is our best option, because you're going to be able. He's going to be able to learn to be Harden as the 6 man.
Well,
And
six
mind
man out,
you,
Korkmaz?
and mind you, Doc Rivers
six man out?
is
Korkmaz?
known for building
Shake and
good
Korkmaz.
6th men.
Okay, now we're going to talk about Doc Rivers.
No. I'm just talking about the fact that I'm complimenting your point.
Yeah, I know. I hear you, but I have other issues with Doc Rivers.
All right, go ahead.
And our biggest roadblock to a championship stands on the sideline.
Is that Doc Rivers?
Is Doc Rivers.
Uh-huh.
That's our biggest roadblock.
Why so?
I don't think anything on the court is going to stop us from getting there.
Hey,
But
Dave.
if he
So,
Ron Anderson.
If
so
he
I'm going to
continue-
go back to my argument that I had with
Yeah.
Brett when
Ron
Brett Brown
Anderson.
was here on this
Oh,
show.
wow. Yeah.
Okay, if you don't want Doc, then who do you want?
No. It's not that I don't want Doc. I
was
don't
my
want
question
Doc
too,
to
Jimmy.
coach the way he coaches.
I don't think Frank trusts Doc.
I don't. Well, no, I don't trust Doc to make the decision. Like if we get into a playoff game and Doc pulls the starting lineup out in the middle of a freaking playoff game, I'm gonna run into the stands and kill him.
So
You
I
know?
mean, when I hear this about Rivers, first of all, we're after beating the Bucks, we're number 3.
Yes, they are.
I understand
we're
that.
first
I
in
have
the
that.
division.
You can't
under
tell
the
me
circumstances.
You
Tied
can't.
for
You
2.
can't agree with when he pulls the entire starting lineup out of a game and has the whole second unit playing. You got to stagger some starters.
No, I hear you, and that's what I was saying earlier. So it's not like he does it all at once.
No.
It's over course
It's over
of
the
a
course
quarter.
over the course
So-
of 3 minutes because from the time he pulls the first guy out to the time he pulls the last guy out, it's 3 stoppages of play.
So
And he's got guys out.
I'll share this with you, and I'll share this with D-Lining. So let's go back to Brett Brown. And Brett Brown, when Embiid finally was able to come to the team, Brett Brown would take Embiid out at the top of the first quarter with 3 and some change off of the clock. So it was like 9 and some change left in the first
Right,
quarter.
right.
He would take Embiid out. At that point, the Sixers usually had the lead. Then he would come in with his hockey lineup with 3 dudes at once, because he really did, right?
Line change.
And his line change, and now
That's the only good part of hockey in this city right now.
yeah, he would come in with his hockey lineup, and now we lose the lead. Doc Rivers comes in and says, Embiid leaves the game with 2 minutes and some change left at the end of the first quarter. Sixers usually have a lead. Now, I know we've blown some leads. We understand that. And now Andre the Drummond would come in, and also he would start the end of the first and top of the second. So basically, this is how he plays Embiid. Embiid plays most of the first, half of the second,
Right. Brings him usually
most of
around
the third,
7
and half of the fourth. So he plays literally 3 quarters a game.
Yeah, he usually brings him in around 7-minute mark of the second quarter.
So that in itself is a huge adjustment, and he's flourishing out of it, right?
Yeah.
So I get when people get with the lineups that's in there. Does he keep certain players in the lineup too long? Yeah, he does. I think. But when people go off on his I'm like, well, what is it to do? Because guys are paid to sub.
I
we
get
have
that.
to play shape.
Dame, I get
you know
that.
what I'm saying?
I get that, but you should never, ever, ever look at a Sixers 5-man floor rotation. It doesn't include a starter. And there are periods in the game when you look on the floor and you can't remember the guys' names or can't read the name on the back of the jersey.
No. And he tried.
You got to stagger them.
He tried that at the beginning of the year. He even he said, "I want to keep at least one starter." Things happen. Now, due to 25, thank you, 25. We appreciate
He's
you.
10 now.
We have another guy, number
he's
one.
not 10 in any book.
In all seriousness, he can now keep at least one starter in with that
Well, I
second
hope he
unit.
does.
He
I
has
hope
to. You can keep Harden with the second unit, Tobias with the second unit, Maxey with the second unit.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think Maxey's role is going to be. Maxey could be the rudder of the second unit.
I think he is.
Time will tell on that.
Doc's good. So with that said, I know you're not the only one I have these conversations with about Doc Rivers. People, but to Joey, like when he was released, he was my first and only because it was either him or D'Antoni, and I darn sure didn't want him.
D'Antoni, no.
Could you imagine him coaching Embiid?
Oh my God.
He'll trade Embiid. We already have covered this.
He wouldn't even.
He would have traded Embiid.
Yeah,
we don't need no stick in
wouldn't
the
be-
center.
He would look at Embiid and go, "Man, I got 4 first-round picks there."
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Yes, he would. He would have been like, I don't need no stick
Exactly
in
what
center.
he would say. I got 4 first-round picks there. Who's offering me 4
Is
first?
Embiid if the season ended today? Is he your lock for
Of
MVP?
course.
Oh yeah.
Anybody even
no
close?
doubt. No doubt.
They can mention DeRozan all they want.
DeRozan's
He's a nice
having a
player.
good- DeRozan's
He's having a
having a
damn
great
good year, but this dude, it's
many-
how he's doing it.
How many
It's
games? How many
well
games has Embiid missed?
overdue.
One.
How many
I
games?
heard this the other day.
One. I mean,
No.
you can't count if you want to count the COVID stuff.
No.
So out the COVID stuff, just
this
one.
straight-
Wow.
I think
One?
it's
For him, that's
One.
almost unheard of.
No, it
Yeah,
wasn't
and that was
one.
load management. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a scheduled load management. And he said, "I don't want to do that."
I thought it was more than one.
Oh,
No,
the
he
one that he
missed-
took the.
Excluding the COVID. Excluding the COVID.
You got to
We're
take the COVID out.
We're not
of it.
talking
okay.
COVID. We're not talking
Okay,
COVID.
my
No. Last year he missed. He
Well,
missed
like
probably
12.
No, he missed more than 12.
20,
But
it was
19.
20.
But he
It was
missed
like
20.
19. It was like
19 games,
20.
but 15 of those were load management.
Okay.
Okay, this year, 0. Maybe one load.
There was the one.
The
yeah.
rest were COVID.
The Memphis game.
Yeah,
The
That's
Memphis
good.
game. The infamous
Right.
Memphis game.
Mark-
with the load
right.
management.
Mark my words.
And he knows it cost him the MVP.
If Harden gets, because he didn't sign his extension, so there's talk of possibly seeing what happens this year and possibly signing him long term at the end in the summer.
There's a reason he did.
But here's my point.
There's a rumor he did.
Mark my words. If James Harden shows up and shows out like we all think he will offensively and just team wise, load management for Joel Embiid, it will be reminiscent of Tim Duncan later on in his career.
Wow.
Well,
And I think that's going to give Embiid a longer window of time.
Well, where I think you're going to see the load management with Embiid is not exactly nights off.
but like
less
fourth
minutes.
quarter off.
Less minutes.
Yeah, less minutes
Yeah.
on the
But the
floor.
rumor, Dame, the rumor with Harden's not doing his option yet is that at the end of the season, the Sixers are going to resign him.
I saw that.
He'll take less money.
He'll waive that option, yeah.
They'll trade Tobias and get a third star, which takes us
Yeah,
to
but that
Washington.
contract's hard.
Yep.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that contract's tough to
But
get
the only
done.
thing about
No. I'm going to tell you where he's going to wind up.
With Harris? I'm
He's,
saying Harris.
he's going to he's going to wind up in OKC because OKC is looking for salary dump,
Yeah.
and that's the only way you get rid of him. It's you got to
Believe me, Dave, this is already kind of like Woj has kind of already talked about this. There's already been people talking about the fact that Bradley Beal is not going to be a Wizard next year, and there are different options on the table.
We'll see, Joey. Time will tell.
Well, I
So
just
you
want to
may get
enjoy.
your
I just
wish
want to
in the
enjoy
end.
the squad
I hope so.
right now. We just signed Harden yesterday.
What kind of just put on your silly
I just
cap?
want to enjoy. I can't go in there. I want to stay here, man.
I know,
This
I know,
season,
but-
I gotta
but,
stay.
I know,
Because seriously, people go, so we move this player and get Tobias out. Well, he said, I'm like, dude, we
Listen,
just got
hey,
Harden.
The guy literally hasn't even stepped on the floor.
He
as
ain't even had a
Sixer.
cheesesteak yet,
Yeah.
mind you.
Dame.
Let him get us water ice.
Dame,
Well, yeah, the
Dame,
pretzel
I'm sure
first.
he's had
Come on,
cheesesteak already.
Dame. We got 24 day games to drool
Yes,
all
sir.
over this.
All right,
Yeah.
so
right now it's an
predictions.
all-star. It's an all-star season. So
What do you think the Sixers go in these last 24 games is win-loss?
18-6.
You got 18-6.
That
Yeah.
sounds fair to me. Dave, how about you?
I got to see the schedule. I really don't know who they're.
I'll go. Well, we come out the gate with Minnesota next Friday.
Okay.
And then we go at the Garden on Sunday.
The Garden?
A week from tomorrow.
Their toughest run is when they play Cleveland because they beat Cleveland on the back end of both.
And they still have a West Coast trip, I believe.
Yeah.
They
The
still have to do
LA
LA trip.
They
in
come
March.
out-
PhillySportsTrips.com, back-to-back LA trips.
would
There
like
you
that.
go. There you go.
I think it's going to take a little while just to kind of mesh. I think they'll win a lot of games.
Is the chemistry going to be there right away? I don't know.
No,
it takes
it
a
can't-
minute.
yeah.
It takes a minute. You got to figure guys
It's gonna
out.
take some time.
How often do you see like the stars like that instantly jive? It's very rare that it happens.
Well,
So-
I see Frank's wheels roll.
There is a
I see-
curve.
I swear,
Yeah.
because he got some. I think I go ahead, Frank. Yeah.
Well, they do have 2 full practices before the All-Star break,
Which is great. Yeah, that they.
Okay, that's going to help them a lot.
Yeah.
As
Before
far as
the All-Star break? Because the All-Star break already started.
no, after the All-Star
Oh,
break.
okay.
They don't play against
Before
Friday.
the All-Star break is over,
Yeah.
Right.
they have 2
2
full
full practices. Yeah,
Right.
which is great.
which is definitely going to help.
And he already practiced with them once. I know
Yes.
of. Yeah, at
Yes.
least once he did
So
practice. with them.
I don't think it's going to take long because look, most of the guys on this team have been around long enough. Toby and
Danny
JoJo, Danny Green have been around long enough to know how to blend in when new players come into the come into the process at the end of the season. A couple of the younger guys like Maxey and
Isaiah Joe.
and Thibault are going to be, but they're going to have a much less impact with Harden.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
What the hell's going on with Thibault?
I don't know, man. He was awful from the 3. I'm like, dude, drive. And it's the thing to me. Listen,
I think his defense is
Square-
still there.
Square-
I'm not
defense-
talking about
we're
his
talking about
defense.
the
His defense
offense.
is still
They're
there.
leaving
Yeah,
them
Yeah, his
open. He's
defense is
got-
definitely still there.
He is
At
not-
least
not
he's
moved.
shooting.
Yeah, he is.
The
At least he's
shooting. What is it like? Just
not
get your
following
form and hold it. He's rushing his shot. He's just.
He's pulling a Yarnold.
Yeah, he kind of look like Dave.
Kind of full Dave.
It's not elevating. It's not extending.
Yeah, you got it.
Hey, I was rushed on that shot, guys.
Yeah, I
Come
know.
on.
I know.
There wasn't anybody
But you
within
shot
10
it.
feet
But
of you.
listen, but you shot it. You didn't 25 it. You didn't 25 it.
Oh,
You
he should
shot
have
it.
passed it up.
Shipping knocks down 2 in a row, and the Raiders lead only by 20 with 20 seconds to go. So Serrano making things happen for the Aces, and they trail only by 20.
Dave Yarnold
Dave
put up a
Yarnold
shot.
for 3.
Oh,
That's a brick and a half, Johnny.
Yeah.
But, you like to see him shooting because we all know he can
that was
shoot.
great hustle.
I swear. I mean, because no, you think about
I love you, Dave. I just have
the
to.
lock and load.
Tear me up. is what he said.
What a good friend. You were talking about a good friend, Dave. Is my man called me. I had a turn signal out. Dave called me just to let me know my turn signal.
That's what I'm
a
talking
good
about.
friend, man.
He's lock and loaded.
Thorough.
You
You
missed
play
the
the
shot,
greatest of all,
but to
against the
be
greatest
lock
of all
and
time.
loaded.
You got to take that into consideration.
That's
mental.
That's Pistol Pete mentality, man.
Exactly.
Right.
That's like no matter what, I'm shooting this bad boy. You kidding me? Wow. What the hell? I love it. 25 doesn't have that.
That's what being OG is.
Dave the Pistol Yard.
Dave the
I
Pistol
never
Yard.
thought I'd hear Dave Yarnold and Pistol Pete in the same comparison.
TK.
Hey, can we ISO Dave on that? I want to
Know
see
what I
where
mean,
his socks are. Because Pistol
You know what I mean, Frank?
Clarence Shipping knocks down 2 in a row, and the Raiders lead only by 20 with 20 seconds to go. So Serrano making things happen for the Aces, and they trail only by 20.
Dave Yarnold
Dave
put up a
Yarnold
shot.
for 3.
Oh,
That's a brick and a half, Johnny.
Yeah.
But, you like to see him shooting because we all know he can
that was
shoot.
great hustle.
I did not. I did not.
Pistol
I did
Pete.
not.
Pistol Pete
Dude,
wore the same
You're
socks.
gonna think
game
I'm.
days,
You think
whole career.
you're making this up? That's one of my son's favorite players. My son's 17. I do the math.
Wow.
He pulled me like that. That's one of my favorite players. He studied him.
So, 2 things.
Yeah.
Number 1,
Yeah.
do you guys take anything away from the fact that Maxey had 31 points last night in the Rising Stars game?
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
31.
I
Did he?
didn't watch
Yo,
it.
by the way,
I didn't know that.
Dude, that was fun.
Yeah.
I was
The way
watching-
they do that.
I was watching SmackDown, Joe. I have no idea.
I worked 14 hours yesterday. I came
No,
home and crashed.
I was watching that and Straight Outta Compton back and forth this morning, early in the morning. I was
Yeah.
switching
Oh,
up.
hell yeah!
Yeah, exactly. No,
I was like I said, man. I was watching
Better with my
SmackDown.
drop timing.
no. The Rising Stars is like you have whoever
It's
scores
fun.
50.
Yeah.
and it's like a pickup game.
Yeah.
and then they have you make to the finals. So it was Isaiah versus Worthy's team, and then it was Barry and who was the other player? Rick Barry. The other-
Halliburton.
No, it was old school. Rick Barry was a coach. It was his
Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas was the other coach.
Isaiah
Isaiah
Thomas. It was
Thomas, Gary Payton.
Gary Payton. So it was Rick Barry and Gary Payton, Isaiah Thomas and
glove.
Worthy. So I think Barry. It was Barry versus Isaiah Thomas team, but they got to the finals and you have to score 20. It was cool, man. It was fun.
Hey, Dame, real quick.
was fun.
Will we ever see the Seattle Supersonics again?
Yes.
We should.
Yes.
How dare you have
Used
a
to
basketball?
love Sean Kemp back. It
Dude,
was
that's
man.
the first game. Speaking of Jack Sigma, I ever
when you
went
brought-
to
when you brought up Gary
with the
Payton, that
Sixers
kinda
Seattle
game.
with downtown
Yeah.
Freddie Brown and those dudes.
Yeah.
Man, I was a
Well,
little boy,
it's
man.
interesting you bring that up though,
on,
Dave,
man.
because
Wasn't
one of the
Well,
lead
yeah, man.
one of the lead financial backers for it is Sean Kemp.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
wans to be a
I'd
part
love
owner.
to see a
Well,
Supersonics
you
back.
know,
They were.
Sean Kemp
They're
needs
OKC
Sean
now.
Kemp needs to be part of that ownership because he left kids in every state.
Yeah, he did.
Hey man, he was.
Look at it. Dude had more kids. Had
had
more kids
7
running around than
He
Wilt
had,
did.
he had,
At least Wilt knew how to wrap it up.
He had 8 children with 7 different women. Yeah, he was
That's
slinging.
crazy.
At least Wilt
At
knew
least
how to
one
wrap
woman
it
got
up.
him.
Now, so President's Day is on Monday, so I wanted to get this fun question out here. So, for the 4 Philly sports, Phillies, Sixers, Eagles, and those guys, Flyers.
Yeah.
Um,
Those guys.
Those guys.
The orange and black.
Pick
They're gonna win
an
today.
all-time I'll go around the room.
All-time
for
president?
for all-time president for each of the franchises. So,
Ooh, good
if
question.
all-time president, who would you elect as the all-time president of those?
I got
guys?
You mean
I'm a
as
pull.
player or front office?
No, player,
Oh.
player.
Okay.
As a player,
Yeah.
Oh, that represents each team?
Yeah, as the president, like he's your leader in that team.
All right.
So,
Want me
Frank,
to go?
yeah, go ahead.
Mike Schmidt,
Okay,
Wilt Chamberlain,
okay,
Reggie White,
okay.
Bobby Clark.
All right, I don't have I ain't got to say nothing. Frank
Frank
that's
just
the
said it
floor
all.
right there.
I'll go Dr. J, Mike Schmidt definitely. I'll pull one. I'll say Dawkins. I'll throw Dawkins in
Chocolate
there.
Thunder?
Yeah, the Thunder.
Brian Dawkins.
Oh, Brian Dawkins.
B-Dawg.
Sorry.
Brian
B-Dawg.
Dawkins,
Okay,
B-Dawg.
sorry.
And then for the Flyers, I gotta say, you know what, Bernie Perrant. How about that?
Oh,
There you
okay.
go. That's not bad.
It's not bad.
I guess I'll go with the Sixers, Dr. J. Lefty, Steve Carlton for the
nice.
Phillies.
Nice.
Eagles, Dawkins. And for the Flyers, Bernie Perrant.
Nice.
Wow.
So, you want to go, Dave?
Sure.
All right.
From
Can't put a cowboy up
No,
there.
Yeah.
for the Flyers.
was gonna
No,
say that.
everybody
He's
said
3
Billy.
for
I'll
4.
go. I'll go different for the Flyers. I'll say Billy Barber.
Yeah, good
Oh,
one.
okay.
Good. That's not a bad reach.
Good player, not a good coach.
For the Sixers, I'll definitely go. I'll say Moses Malone
Nice.
Nice.
because I love Doc, but everybody picked Doc, so I'll
Yeah,
go
yes,
Moses.
Moses go.
Eagles. Tough call. I would say Ron Jaworski.
Ooh,
That's
Okay.
a good one.
Jaws.
Go with-
That's
I was
nice.
thinking
That's a
Jaws,
good
too.
one.
I was thinking
And for the what team did I miss? The
Phillies.
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 Fighting Phils. Yeah. Tough decision. I guess Carlton.
Carlton.
I'll say Carlton. Yeah, I can't. There's no other I can think.
I would have said Doc, but he didn't play long
No.
enough here.
So,
I'll go after you, Joe.
I'll go.
I'll try and get some different ones.
So I'll go. I'm trying
That's
to.
what I was trying to do too.
So for the Philadelphia 76ers, I'm going to elect Allen Iverson.
Bubba Chuck.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm for the Philadelphia Phillies. I'm going to elect Larry Boa.
Nice.
See, I was going to go Bo, but I wasn't sure.
For the Philadelphia Flyers, I'm going to elect Bill Barber.
Okay.
And for the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm going to elect Brian Dawkins.
Nice.
All right. I like it. I like it.
You're going
will.
with the short squad.
Yeah.
It's going with the guards in
Good
there.
question.
For the Philadelphia Phillies, Chase Utley.
Ooh, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
For the Philadelphia Flyers, the E-Train Eric Lindros.
Okay. Okay.
For the Philadelphia 76ers, there are many that you can choose from, and I don't think you'd be wrong with any of them, but I'll go with Bubba Chuck. I'll go with Iverson.
Okay.
And for the Philadelphia Eagles, Nick Foles.
Whoa.
Oh, my God.
Hey, what shirt am I
Oh
wearing?
boy.
What shirt am I
He
wearing?
won a Super Bowl.
Man, what a
Yeah.
Super Bowl!
He won a Super Bowl.
It's dear to our heart. Hey, man. speaking-
Best Eagles quarterback of all time. He's the only quarterback that starting quarterback has a ring.
we didn't have a chance to talk, right? Super Bowl was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that?
That event that happened
I mean-
in Los Angeles. It
I mean-
wasn't a movie.
I thought it was
The
WrestleMania.
underwhelming bowl.
Well,
underwhelming bowl.
so I'm watching. I wanted
Cincy?
the quarterback.
Burrow?
No, well,
Matt Stafford.
Stafford, thank you, to drive down the field and score, and they did because I wanted Burrows to get the ball back. But
Yeah.
man, it was just, someone made a good point that their offensive line wasn't obviously very good because what he got sacked 10 times this game.
Something like
Seven.
that. Like
Seven.
I
And
think
the
seven.
one
yeah.
previous to that was 9.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like
Well, he got sacked 9 times against Tennessee.
that's the one.
It was I
I
think it was
against KC was sacked 9
it
times.
was,
as well.
no, it was 5
No, it was
times.
Tennessee.
Five,
I think
five
it was
times.
So
Tennessee.
Tennessee was
So
9.
we all
5
know where,
KC.
we all know where Cincinnati's going to do their work in the offseason.
Yeah,
Well-
offensive line.
So I was hoping for a
We
nice
got a
little
left tackle of him.
Ironically,
the game didn't have any.
You know, it's funny, man.
ironically, their offensive lineman that had the longest tenure in Cincinnati played for the Rams.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Go ahead, James.
Oh, the 40-year-old guy. Yeah.
Go ahead.
You know, it's funny. It's that, like a buddy of mine said, like after all the success that the season was, that was not the best game I watched all
Underwhelming.
year.
Nah, especially after the playoff done that they had. It was
Yeah,
like,
dude.
You
It's
were
like-
hoping like to keep.
Well,
the
you know
flame
why?
running.
You know why? Because the halftime show just kicked the living crap
Halftime
out of
show
the
was-
game.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Amanda
was
says to me,
nice.
she goes, it was too short. I
Yeah,
said,
yeah. that
Everybody
nice.
was saying
It
the
was
same
too
thing.
short.
Yeah,
It
that
should have
was
been
nice.
longer.
That
I
was
think it was
nice.
I didn't
was
see
dope.
it, though.
Well,
It
let's
was
see.
fun.
Yeah,
But I heard it was
halftime show
great,
was
though.
that.
good. I
Oh,
really
I-
Mary J. Blige, my
I thought
girl.
I thought
Oh,
50
yeah.
Cent hanging upside down.
Yo, that was
weird.
kind of deep.
That was
Yeah,
a
it was
little
kind of
weird.
deep. Eminem killed it. Kendrick
Bru-
Lamar.
I mean, Bruce
Snoop.
Springsteen's halftime was like 30-something minutes.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah,
okay.
it was
Plus all the
Right.
like,
Still
how
not-
long it
nothing-
takes a song to
Shut
end.
up.
Nothing's ever going to top the Prince halftime show.
Yeah, that was
That
incredible.
killer.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Jackson-
Justin Timberlake,
No.
Janet Jackson.
I was just going to go there. I was just going
Paul
there.
McCartney with the Eagles,
Right.
man.
I was just going to
Little
say
flash
Timberlake
action.
got it.
Michael Jackson did a good one.
Yeah, Michael did a good one too.
There was a lot of them, but you know,
McCartney did a good one too.
yeah, he did. I know
McCartney.
Paul McCartney was it.
The year we were in it.
I'm not a commercial guy.
He was great.
But that commercial with the animation with the football, you know, came, that I don't know if y'all saw it.
Yeah,
That was awesome. That was
The
awesome.
little
That was-
football players.
Yeah,
That was really cool.
and they paid homage to old school Reggie White.
Yeah.
I want to say, was Ricky Waters one of them?
Yes. 'Cause
I thought I saw okay.
Well, you have to include Ricky Waters in that because Ricky had a great Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was dope. It was like, wow, man, that was really creative. But the game itself,
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, well, I
wasn't-
mean, look,
I won't be
look
talking
at-
about
look
it,
at the
like-
standard. Look at the bar they had to be measured by. The 2 previous weeks of playoff football were probably the greatest playoff weeks in football any of us have ever seen.
No doubt.
Absolutely.
Okay.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you know,
Back
I
to
mean,
back,
the Super
Frank.
Bowl is normally anticlimactic to begin with. It's usually one team dominates the other, and it's a blowout, and you're drinking beers by the end of the first quarter, and stuffing wings down your throat, and rooting for your numbers in the blocks.
And keep in
Okay?
mind,
That was literally
and I'm sorry-
everything. That was literally every single thing that I did.
Yeah,
that day. Like,
I know that Frank was like definitely like 1-9, 1-9,
Absolutely.
1-9, 1-9.
I had 1 and 9. I had 1 and 9 on a 1 pool.
I was literally like watching the game with
Did you
your
hit the
blocks.
win?
Huh?
Did you
But-
do all right?
No, I lost. I didn't
Yes.
get it.
Oh, crap.
But
The only time I ever won the block pool, my wife had the numbers 1 and 9, and Denver was playing the Giants in the Super Bowl when Elway was still there.
I'll never forget when Tom
Okay.
won his.
And for her to win the first half, she needed a safety, and she got it.
Wow.
And for her to win the end of the game, the Giants kicker had to miss the extra point on the last touchdown, and I said, "This guy never misses." And I got it out of my mouth, and he missed it.
Wow.
She won the first half and the end of the game.
that was-
Tom
Block
didn't even.
pool.
That is
Tom didn't
crazy.
even know.
I
And
won
missed
the
that-
What year
final.
was that?
He didn't even
The year
know.
of the 28-3. The year the
Yeah.
Patriots came back on the
from
Falcons.
It was
Wow.
86,
Yeah.
87.
Was
When
Bart the
Julio Jones
It was who?
Was Matt Barr the kicker
catch
for
the
the Giants?
ball
No, it wasn't Barr.
and
was
does a
somebody
toe
else.
tap,
Yep.
that's when you call a timeout. You say, fellas, we're just going to run the ball.
Yeah.
All we need is a field
And they had
goal.
two
Good old Dan
Ours.
Quinn.
I'm like, yo, why
the
don't
way-
y'all? And to this, we brought that up. I'm like, you cannot lose that Super Bowl. You just get a field goal, it's over.
Well, what I
You get
didn't-
the ball
what
back.
I didn't understand was
And they were
why-
dominating
Why
that
did they
game,
give
too.
the ball
Yeah.
to Ryan instead of giving it to
Yeah.
Two stories. So
And
running
who
back.
was the offensive coordinator?
the running back, tell me out here, James.
It was your
The running back for the
What's
Bengals.
that?
the coach of the
Oh,
49ers.
the Boomer size?
No, the running
Shanahan?
back for the Bengals this year.
Oh, running back.
This year.
Joe Mixon.
Right. They give it to Perrine on a 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
Why didn't you give it to Mixon?
Actually, it was
That
4th
makes
down.
no
They-
sense to me.
Oh, this
What play was on
What was
when
the deal with that?
What was the play when the running back had the ball, like not Mixon, but was that 3rd down or 4th
It
down?
was a
third
4th down.
Third.
Oh,
It was
okay.
3rd and 1,
Third and
Oh,
one.
that's right.
They
Burrow
gave it
got
to
sacked
Perrine.
on 4th down. That's right.
Yeah.
and they didn't give it to Mixon. Why?
I don't get that.
Well,
know.
two stories. Number one, when we were talking last week, I told you that most of that crowd was going to be transplant fans, people flying in. Literally after the Super Bowl, there was on the tarmac of LAX, there was 140 pile up of Lear jets that were trying to take off from LAX. It was 140 Lear jets.
No traffic leaving the stadium.
No.
But the jets at the airport.
Right.
Wow.
Everybody's private jets leaving the airport.
So
Wow.
therein lies your transplants.
You hear
Everyone's
about,
like,
you hear about the parade?
yeah, 200,000 people.
Yeah, that wasn't a parade.
That's it.
That wasn't a
That was
parade.
not a
That
No,
was,
they were sitting there.
That was an outdoor concert.
People
That's-
something
that's-
about
That was
the
actually
Call and remind
that's like
people.
That's like a moderately busy day at Times Square.
Second story.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Tuesday
City.
afternoon in Times Square.
So, second story, I don't know if any of you guys heard. I had a conversation with my neighbor this past week.
No, I didn't
Did
hear
you-
you talking to
no,
your
no, no.
neighbor this past week.
Thank you, smart ass. Did you guys know that Alvin Kamara got arrested?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
did. Yes, saw that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I read the article.
The police blotter
Domestic.
was full. The police blotter was full.
I mean, is he a bonehead? Like,
Total bonehead.
like
big bonehead.
he goes into Vegas and goes. He makes up a story and doesn't think that in the casino that they have any
Cameras.
What happens in Vegas doesn't stay in Vegas anymore.
Anymore.
It's
Not all the time.
2022.
Not all the time.
No. and my neighbor.
What up that kind
My
of
neighbor
stuff?
brought up a great point. Why aren't athletes hiring like cops, off-duty cops, to help them with their security? Because at least then, if you have an off-duty cop and something goes down, the cop can talk to the other cops that show up on the scene.
Some do. It's
True.
just spend
Yeah.
no money, but man, I think when you get older in life, at least I try to. I'm not saying it's perfect, it's easy. You just try not to even get into that situation.
Right.
Right. So I used to be a hothead, like let's go at it. I was that guy at one time in my life.
From what I understand, all the guy wanted to do was get on the elevator.
Yeah, but people get.
Apparently,
you know-
he put his hands on Kamara, and then Kamara took exception.
Well, yeah.
But
And
so
then
my thing is, what
You're
do we
within
do?
your right at that point to punch him in the face.
Right,
Don't put
you
your
are.
hands
But
on
what
me.
can we do to prevent it from even getting there?
Not even being in that situation.
Stop.
Is what I'm
That's
saying.
my
Stop
thing.
drinking.
It's like you know what?
Punching him in the face is fine. Having your security or your whatever lackey stomp the guy 15 times when he's down on the
Look,
ground.
That's probably not the best idea.
He shouldn't have put his hands on him, and he had to prove the point.
Oh, you can't put your hands on him. Man.
Apparently.
I mean, he just
But if Tom's making like $200 million
was
and I'm
sarcasm,
his
by the way.
entourage, I'm taking down whatever and not letting him get touched.
Yeah,
Like,
Joe,
that's
you're
the-
not. You're up there with me, pal. You're not in the entourage.
The guys have done that.
You're up there with
Thank
me.
Guys
you,
have done
thank
that.
you.
They're like, look, man, I don't want you to get in trouble. You stay over here. I'll
Yeah,
take this
that's
from
my
you.
job.
Guys
That's my
have done
job.
No, everybody in this room, I would just hire ex-Navy SEALs. Stand around us, man.
Army Rangers.
Baddest ass dudes on the planet.
You're taking the wrong approach. You guys are taking. You don't need Navy SEALs. You don't need these,
Marine.
guys like this. You know
Just
what
get
you
a bunch of Delco Karens.
Nope. Nope.
Taco
nope.
Karens.
You just hired a Swedish bikini team. They ain't paying attention to you.
Yeah, buddy. Swedish bikini team's probably in their late 60s now, though.
The modern
The
Sweden.
new ones, all right.
Yeah. Anybody that comes in aggressive
He
goes.
said
Whoa.
late 60s.
The new
Whoa.
version?
It's not a good watch.
Whoa.
It's not a good watch.
Nah.
Not a good look.
Definitely not.
Not a good look.
No, they'd spend their time trying to help them across the street with their groceries at this point. Listen, everybody, we could do this forever, but
Good stuff.
we're gonna shut it down for this week. I look forward to seeing everybody next week. It was good to be back with the fellas here.
Didn't even get with
Yes,
the
welcome
Phillies
back.
today.
No.
Yeah,
no,
what's-
it's
By the way, if they don't make it a deal by the end of February,
It's getting
they're going to have to delay the season.
right. Well, I mean, it's
Well,
hard
they
here,
already
so
they
that's
already
gonna dominate the
postponed the
conversation.
games until March 1st.
Yeah, they
there.
did.
Right.
Yeah.
They already pushed
Yep.
spring games.
But,
spring training games
They
back.
said the season's supposed to start March 31st.
Guys, not to
Yeah,
not
we'll
to
see.
not to break the thing.
I don't
but
think it's gonna happen.
real quick, guys. The Flyers. I mean,
They
is
suck.
no, wait.
Who?
Is this
They
team? Look,
suck.
does this team look defeated or what?
I watched
suck.
the other night.
I'll tell you in two words.
not even-
Flyers suck.
I get
Thank
it.
you.
I get it.
I watched the other
watched
night.
The game
They
the other
were
night.
playing the Capitals.
Yeah, they lost 5-3. Was that what it was, Chief?
Although-
5-3.
And
They
Okay.
can't hold on to a lead for shit.
They went up what? It was 4.
I got to ask the
Time out,
Flyer-
Joey. Time out.
Go ahead.
They
Sure,
went
yeah.
up. They went up. Was it? They were up what? 4-2. What was that from?
40. No.
4-3.
3-2.
3-2.
Yeah, 3-2.
After that game was over, and they ended up losing that game 5-3.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that bench? They had their heads down. They were like they just looked.
Some of them looked annoyed, but not all of them.
But they looked like
They're the hockey version of the New
defeated.
York
Like,
Jets.
they would just look like.
the Detroit Lions.
I got to ask the hockey.
Yeah,
What am I missing here,
Marinade
James?
Philadelphia.
I got to ask
What
the
happened?
hockey expert before
What
we
happened?
go.
Sure, yeah.
Do we hire Rick Tocchet?
No.
I've been saying.
I
No.
don't know. I don't know who's going to solve this team at this
No,
point.
you can't-
I don't
you
even think
can't- you
Tortorella is
can't
going to
keep-
solve this team either.
dipping into the same.
I understand. I just
What
What did I say
happened?
2 weeks ago?
Someone
I
answer-
gotta change
I'm
the
serious.
honestly, Joe, I don't even know.
just a
like
question.
how did you how they're on a 4-game winning streak now. I mean, excuse me, losing streak. They're on a 4-game losing streak. You just completed
10-gamers.
Right, that's what I was about to say.
Look at the board.
Like, I have this. So did you? So this is a question. So Van Riemsdyk, brother was
Easy
fighting.
for you
He was
to say.
fighting. He was
JV.
fighting.
Tyler
was fighting. So what do you do?
Trevor, I think.
Trevor.
So what do you do if your brother's fighting and he's on the other team? Do you jump in?
No, he yelled. He yelled to tell Trevor to stop.
James,
He did.
I'm sitting there watching that TV
Jones?
going, wow, what do you
is
do?
it Jones in net?
Your brother's fighting your teammate.
I mean,
At that point,
It could be hard. It could be Jones. It could be.
I know.
It could be everything but the kitchen sink. I don't know.
That's a tough position to be in.
It's exhausting,
You
man.
got to turn your skates.
I just never saw a team get so down
Right now,
so fast.
Right now, the Flyers could suit us up, and we do better.
You know what really annoys me about the Flyers too is that, like,
Thanks, honey.
like the sad part about it is that I got nothing, honestly. I actually don't even know what to say anymore. Like, I try to do some stuff like a podcast to talk about the Flyers, and I'm like saying, what am I going to talk about? Like,
Right.
I mean, there's nothing that it's just
No.
empty.
Is
you know?
it the power play? Is it? What is it?
They did
It-
score.
I wish.
Oh,
I wish it was one thing.
Yeah, we
I
got.
wish it was one
Is
thing
it,
you could put your
multiple-
finger
is it
on.
multiple things?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's just that they don't get
You mean
the
we're not
heart.
two
Dave,
pieces away?
Dave, all the way. At
And
the
I mean
top.
that in goal too.
all the way at
Well,
the top.
I'm just going on the ice right now. I get that.
But that's just symptomatic of the
But
problem.
But these guys have they give up.
That's the sneeze and the cough you get when you get.
By
a
the
cold.
way,
the real problem. The real problem is the virus you got sitting in the front office.
Claude Giroux has waived his
Yeah, we
trade
saw.
clause.
I
He
saw
did?
that.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
He's gone.
Oh, wow.
He's gone, Dave.
Take a deal. He'll take a deal to the Avalanche.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Of course he will. He said
don't like it.
Avalanche,
Don't let go base
St.
the bell.
Louis.
I don't
he
like
said
it.
Avalanche, St.
Jason,
Louis,
Let's wait till the off season.
God bless him.
Carolina, and Vancouver.
I hope he
I hope
gets
he
his
goes to
ring.
Colorado.
I hope he gets his ring. I really do.
If he goes to Vancouver, I want Brock Besser.
I'm saying even if he trades,
take him in a
even if he
heartbeat.
holds on to his no trade clause, but by the end of this, he's free. I got you.
I want
That doesn't
McKinnon
matter.
if he goes to
Yeah.
Colorado.
Sorry,
I want
TK,
I like
didn't bring that
McKinnon.
up.
It's all good.
I
It's
just-
all good.
I
All
got you.
right.
I just
All
can't get over this team,
I got
how
you.
bad they are.
I
It's a
got
shame.
you.
I'll
All
take one of
listen.
the
But
goaltenders.
they waited
Just
too
point.
long now with Giroux.
Screw it.
That should have been done 3 years ago.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
But anyway, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I
We're
hear
going
you,
on.
Joey.
But I wouldn't mind addressing the Flyers down the line. That would be.
Oh, well, yeah, you know, when they give us something to address.
Right.
All right, listen, for James
Other than
Scorza,
building the ring.
for Joe Marks, Damon Salim, Dave Yarnell, Frank Finnegan, I'm Tom Kelly. It's the Pattison Ave Phanatics Show. Thanks for hanging with us this morning, folks. We're out of here.
Be well.
Later.
So-